through the same issues as Black Americans, and that's just not going to fly with a lot of Black American people, and they're going to turn away from you and say, okay, I can't vote for this guy. This is going to be it right here, Total. This is what Black Americans going to look at, and they're going to say, okay, nope, can't vote for him.
Real talk, real talk. Professor, let me know, because the space is already starting up. I sent you a co-host thing, and the stupid thing already talking about you can only invite 2 co-hosts or whatever. So let me see if I can clear this thing real quick, because I don't hear it comes already. Like I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Shout out to my people on YouTube, guys. I'll be right back. We're gonna try to see if we can clear this thing up, because I don't want this craziness tonight. So let me see real quick. Let me go ahead and see what's up real quick. I don't know what I mean. These spaces are beyond just garbage here on X or whatever, man. Like it's like, what in the world?
This very story, this very topic.
Can you hear me, Professor?
A very good point. You have never had anyone from your family hung from a tree or anyone from your family lynched. I really want to hear what everybody's going to say about this. Because I know a lot of Black Americans are dead set on voting for him because of the immigration issue. But will this very topic tonight make an impact in what you feel about this guy when it comes to the election time in November? I really like to hear what everybody have to say about it. Where you say, no, I'm not going to vote for this guy because he keeps making these ignorant statements like this. I'm gonna land right there.
Real talk. Shout out. I see DJ up in the space as well too. Shout out to Andre, Nita. Shout out to y'all coming up in here, man. Y'all definitely go ahead and retweet this out. And this is my thing right here. Just looking at the polls, like, man, you gaining momentum. You got Black people. You got whatever percentage of Black people may be coming over and say that they may vote Republican, they're not going to vote for Biden at all. Like you seem to be gaining the Black vote. So why even say stuff like that? Like this dude has a constant foot and disease type mouth type thing. Like just go ahead, get the people that's lining up to support you or whatever, coming over to vote for you. But why do you have to say stuff like this when you know it's going to piss a certain number of Black people off? You're trying to go ahead and you're trying to drum up support with your voting block and whatnot, but at the same time, you already, these diehard Trump fans, these MAGA fans, they ain't going nowhere. You're trying to go ahead and you're trying to bring in a new group of voters. Your people are already here, man. They're not going anywhere. They loyal to you. Hell, we saw how loyal they were by storming the damn Capitol, so they're not going anywhere. You don't need to go ahead and get any more. You got enough MAGA people. The key demographic, if a certain amount of Black people go ahead and switch, then Biden is cooked. He's done. But you can't just sit up there. It's like this dude just can't sit up there, and he's got to go ahead and incite different things as well too. So yeah, you're gonna drum up some support, and you got a lot of MAGA people, and I'm sure people on his little platform, his social media platform, bigging him up. Say, oh yeah, you're right. Let's be for real. We've been hearing this for the last 20 some odd years about reverse discrimination, and I hear white people all the time, especially white men, tell me, you know what, we're the most discriminated against demographic in the country. Like we're the ones that's the most disliked and this and that. Now you're the most discriminated demographic in the country, yet you control everything. You have the most money. You have the most power. You have the most prestige. You have the damn military at your fingertips. You control the financial sector. You control the media. You control the thing, the healthcare, you name it. You control all these demographics, but you sitting up here talking about how discriminated and how beat up you are and how people don't like you and this and that. And I mean, damn, you can't even win for losing here, man. Like, I mean, you actually got people. You see all these polls. You see the actual number of Black men they saying with the Democratic Party leaving and this and that. You see a bunch of Black voters that's disenfranchised from the Democratic Party. You can't even accept that. You can't even take that. You got to come up here and you got to sit up here and you got to clown and whatnot. And now you're sitting up here and yeah, it'll rev up your fan base. It'll rev up your support and whatnot. But you're going to need more than just some rednecks up there in the Midwest and these rednecks in the South to go ahead and become president. You're going to need a little bit of diversity. You're going to need a little bit of people that's going to back you and whatnot. And I'm going to tell you like this right here, for a group of Black people that's already upset, that's already disenfranchised, that's already pissed about just, having just being totally ignored. You sit up here, and then this is like a slap in the mouth right here. You sitting up here, no, you know damn well that you're not the most discriminated group. You don't suffer racism and all this other nonsense, but you sitting up here and you champion this stuff and you going along with it, man. Like, come on, man, stop, man. You actually looking to give horse right in the mouth. You got votes that's going to come your way, or at the very least, you got a number of black people that are just so pissed off with the actual political process in this country. They say, you know what, I'm sitting home, I'm staying home, or whatever. You got a bunch of them saying, I'm not going to vote for I'm not going to vote for either one of these guys, but I'll sit home or whatever, and hopefully that'll screw Democrats up. So you got a number of black people that feel this way as well too. But like, hey, I guess you want to go ahead and push the black people that's leaving. I guess you want to go ahead and push them back into Joe Biden and Democrats' arms, because it makes absolutely no sense to come up with this whatsoever, man. This is crazy. Like, you talk about what he told black people back in 2016 when he was running against Hillary Clinton. Like, what the hell do you have to lose? And now you got some of these black people that feel the same thing. Hey, you know what? I ain't got nothing to lose. I'll go ahead and I'll holler at you, whatever. And then you're gonna just pretty much just spit in the eye. So it is what it is, man. I see a number of our people coming up in here as well too. So shout out to my folks over there on YouTube. Y'all guys, everybody on YouTube, make sure y'all go ahead and click that notification bell, because I ain't getting no notifications. Matter of fact, I'm getting jerked around over here on YouTube. YouTube is deleting comments. They constantly deleting comments. They constantly won't send out the notifications. They constantly jacking up the views and everything on the actual on these broadcasts as well too. So YouTube ain't showing no love, man. So y'all go ahead, for those on YouTube, click that notification bell, and make sure you guys share the actual broadcast on your social media platforms, because it is definitely needed. Same for my people up here as well too, guys. Y'all make sure y'all share out this space tonight, man. Share out this space. Secret Sister, I'm gonna get to you, Sweet Pea. Give me 1 second. I want to touch up on this article so y'all can have a little something to go ahead and talk about even more. Shout out to Original Shannon. I see y'all up in here as well too. I see Rero. I saw Rero up in here. She may be gone, but I saw up in it. Okay, I see you up in here. So shout out to all y'all coming up in here. Share out the actual space, the broadcast. Shout out to Polo Styles and Be Nice over there, also in the YouTube round. This from the New York Post, and y'all know I normally put the article up in the Jumbotron, but I ain't curate this, so I ain't put it up in there. And I'm sorry, folks, and I didn't put it up in the YouTube description either, but you can go ahead and you can Google this New York Post as well too. I like to use sources and cite and stuff like that, but this one I did not put up in. I'm sorry about that. I will make it up to you guys the next go around. But it says Donald Trump vows to address definite anti-white feeling in this country can't be allowed. Former President Donald Trump has said there's a definite anti-white feeling sweeping the U.S. and warned that can't be allowed. Trump, 77, was asked in a wide-ranging interview with Time magazine published Tuesday about polls showing most of his supporters think anti-white racism now represents a greater problem in the country than anti-black racism. How much you want to bet that his followers always thought that anti-white racism had a bigger problem than anti-black racism? How much you want to bet that most of his followers don't even think that there's anything else such as anti-black racism in the country? Oh, I think there's a lot to be said about that. The 45th president responded. If you look at the Biden administration, they're sort of against anybody depending on certain views. They're against Catholics. They're against a lot of different people. Trump continued. They actually don't even know what they're against, but they're against a lot. But no, I think there's a definite anti-white feeling in this country, and that can't be allowed either. When asked how we'd address the presumptive Republican nominee answered, I don't think it'd be a very tough thing to address. Frankly, I think the laws are very unfair right now, and education is being very unfair and it's being stifled, but I don't think it's going to be a big problem at all. So I want to know how you're going to address this problem, Trump, and I also want to know how you're going to address the anti-black racism as well, too. I want to know exactly what's unfair right now with the education and everything else as well, since your people are the one that actually come up with the curriculum for the education and everything else. But if you look right now, there's absolutely a bias against white, and that's a problem. Ahead of the November election, President Biden and his allies have highlighted Trump administration alumni who said they will not back the 45th president this time around. Age is the only thing we have in common. Biden, 81, needled his rival during a Saturday night White House Correspondents' Dinner, adding, "My vice president actually endorses me." However, Trump told Time that loyalty is the current commander-in-chief's major problem. "Biden is a very different kind of guy than me," he contended. "He keeps bad people. For instance, when you had Afghanistan, he kept then chairman of Joint Chiefs Staff, Mark Milley. Milley should have been fired immediately. I did fire people. I fired a lot of people. Now I let them quit because, I have a heart. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but almost every one of those people were fired by me. So did they quit or did you fire them, dude?" Working for Biden is very easy. Trump mused at another point, he never fires anybody. He should fire everybody having to do with Afghanistan. He should fire everybody to do with the border. I would have fired everybody, and it would have been a very big story. Trump also elaborated on his plan to embark on mass deportation campaign against illegal immigrants, telling Time that we have no choice. "I don't believe this is sustainable for the country. What's happening to us with probably 15 million, maybe as many 20 million by the time Biden's out," he said. 20 million people, many of them from jails, many of them from prisons, many of them from mental institutions. I mean, you see what's going on in Venezuela and other countries. They're becoming a lot safer. The former president cited deportation efforts that took place under Eisenhower administration as a model and stressed that much of the endeavor would rely on local law enforcement. When asked about the possibility that state and local jurisdictions will balk at being asked to take part, Trump acknowledged it and said, "If that happens, they won't partake in the riches," referring to federal funding. "We have to do this," he added. "This is not a sustainable problem for our country." Asked about the possibility of using regular military forces to conduct a roundup, Trump did not rule the possibility out. "When we talk military, generally speaking, I talk National Guard, but if things were getting out of control, I would have no problem using the military per se," Trump added. The presumptive Republican nominee also expressed openness to erecting a new migrant detention camps if needed. "We wouldn't have to do very much of that because we'll be bringing them out of the country," Trump said. "We're not leaving them in the country, we're bringing them out. It's been done before. I would not rule out anything, but there wouldn't be that much of need for them because of the fact that we're going to be moving them out." Looming over the 2024 presidential showdown is an unprecedented slate of criminal charges against Trump. Last year, Trump vowed to name a special prosecutor to investigate the Biden family, only to distance himself from the commitment in the Time interview. "It depends on what happens with the Supreme Court. Look, a president should have immunity that includes Biden," he argued. "If they rule that they don't have immunity, Biden, probably nothing to do with me. He would probably be persecuted 20 different acts." Back during 2016 election cycle, Trump similarly declared that he would seek a special prosecutor on Hillary Clinton, but ultimately declined to do so. In his campaign, Biden has warned of the possibility of political violence by his rival supporter, an idea Trump shrugged off in his interview. "I don't think you have political violence," he told Time. "I think we're going to have a big victory, and I think there'll be no violence." In a later exchange, however, Trump backtracked on his confidence. "I don't think we're going to have to do that," he said. "I think we're going to win. And if we don't win, it depends. It always depends on the fairness of an election." I guess Trump's still talking about the election that he felt was taken from him in 2020. Trump has long championed an American first approach to foreign policy, but Republicans in Congress have splintered over how to implement that philosophy, especially with respect to the war in Ukraine. The former president has sent mixed signals on the war in Ukraine on the campaign trail, voicing skepticism about additional aid, musing that he could end the war in 24 hours and even backing a loan to Ukraine. I'm going to try to help Ukraine, but Europe has to get there and also do their fair share as well, too. Europe is not paying for their fair share, Trump said. The Republican also faulted Biden for the war, contending the president was weak in his dealings with the Russian leader Putin. "I think Biden has dealt with Putin very poorly. Putin should never go to Ukraine, and he didn't go in 4 years with me. I get along with him very well," Trump said. During his first term, Trump pursued peace between the Israelis and Palestinians, which he described as the ultimate deal. However, he told Time he has become very pessimistic about the idea of a two-state solution. "There was a time when I thought two states could work. Now I think two states is going to be very tough," he said, adding, "You have a lot of people that liked the idea 4 years ago. Today, you have far fewer people that like that idea." So shout out to all you guys coming up in this space as well, too, man. I see y'all coming up in here. I got my girl Secret Sister up in here. Secret Sister, what's going on? Go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you, Newstoter? Hi. DJ, hey Professor, and hi to the rest of the family.
What's up?
It's saying that so Trump is feeling anti-white. We've been feeling this for centuries. So welcome to the club. And if he feels, who's saying that they feel anti-white? Just him, or is it his constituents? Like, who's all feeling this?
I would imagine it's his supporters.
Okay, so if they're feeling this, then I guess our reparation push might just be working. So, hey, I put my fist up to that one. But it's funny how he says he feels anti-white, but he goes around with our sister Angela Stanton King, and she's pro-black. So how does that work? So I'm going to shoot her this article, and I want me and her to have a little talk, and hopefully she can come on here and explain to our people what the hell is going on. You feel what I'm saying? Because this needs to be addressed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Secret Sister. It'd be interesting to hear, what a lot of like I say, what a lot of the Black Republicans have to say about this as well too. He's definitely he's talking about doing the right thing on the immigration tip. So a lot of people can get down with that, but this whole somehow that white people are being picked on it, and especially it's always white men saying that as well too. White men are constantly talking about how they've been discriminated, that they're the most discriminated group in the entire country. So
right. I think what he's really trying to say is their white women are in love with our black men more. They don't want to say that our black men have taken their women. And I think that's part of the thing, because there's more black men with white women than there is black women with white men. And that's, if they took a poll on that. And I think that's their problem, because they know no matter where we go, if you get with a black person, that baby is going to be a black person. So that adds to our numbers and not theirs. So, yeah, I do agree with you that they feel picked on. No, they are getting what karma, and karma is God's wife. Karma's coming around, and things is getting ready to change. And I think they need to get on board or just jump in the water like they made some of our ancestors do. And can I ask one thing? Tonight at 9, well, it's late. It's going to be late because I want to hear this, so I might change the time, maybe 10 after you. If you guys could come to a space that I'm holding a space, and it's called Bridging the Gap. And I want all generations to come, because I have, as an elder, I have some things that I want to say. I'm pretty sure all generations have some things on the disrespect, on how we are, dealing with each other online, and we're not actually spending time with each other. Everything is about a phone, social media, and we are losing sight of who we are. We are a spiritual, energy-driven people, and this is why I think we're having more arguments than love on this thing. So if y'all can join tonight, I'm gonna change the time. 10, would that be okay, Newstoter? I'm trying to do it after yours.
That'll be fine. I can try to pop my head in that, Secret Sister. I can't, but I'll definitely, retweet it, and everybody that can come up in there, definitely come up in there as well too. So yeah, definitely support Secret Sister. She always supports the platform as well too, guys. So definitely, for those that can, come up in there and see exactly about bridging the gap, as she says as well too. So shout out to you, Secret Sister.
Okay, and thank you so much for letting me announce that in your room. And I love you. And you know that guy that I told you about that I was going to get?
Mm-hmm. Well,
somebody didn't answer their phone when I had them on the three-way to get with you.
I don't remember.
DJ.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I know you didn't hit me up, but
no, DJ. I don't have your actual number.
Nope.
But DJ didn't answer the phone, and I had, Jay on there.
Well,
he was ready.
We'll go ahead and we'll try to go ahead and set that up, Secret Sister. So I'll try to if I can't hit you up this weekend, I'll try to see what's up because I got a few things I got to do. But we'll try to definitely coordinate something though.
Yes, sir. All right, and I'm here for you. Love you all, and I hope to see y'all in the room tonight.
All right,
Let's bridge this gap.
Appreciate you, Secret Sister. Let me get to my other sister here. Let me get to Miss Rero. Rero, what's going on with you?
Hey, Newstoter. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Peace and blessings to the co-host.
You kind of low, Rero. You got a headset on?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. Yeah, peace and blessings to everybody. I just wanted to say, I don't believe what they're feeling is anti-white. I feel like what they're feeling is guilt. For the longest, they were able to put on these smiles and no one questioned whether they were good people or not. We all kind of were going with this deal along. And now that the information is out, people are looking at them sideways as they should. I think they should never have stopped looking at them sideways. So it's kind of like white America has their hands down. Not to mention all the shit that, people. Not to mention all the stuff that they're doing. That's just very weird, as far as like the LGBTQ stuff, the MAP stuff, just all the ways that they're trying to take society is kind of side-eyeing the people and making people want to stand up against that stuff. And so, no, I absolutely don't think it's worse than Black racism. And if they get a bill before we do, I know something. As far as Trump, you guys, I really just think he's pimping and politicking. I feel like that's the best way to really describe what he's doing. I mean, even Biden is pimping and politicking right now. 1 minute he's, Black people are terrible, we need to put police, and the next minute he's like, white nationalists are the worst thing in recovery to America. I mean, it's like they're
Rero, you I can hear you, but you are really low though, sweetie.
Okay, I'm gonna land there. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay. Definitely, guys, if you have your headset on, it's kind of a little bit hard to hear you. So if you do have it on, turn it up all the way. But we prefer you not to have the headset on because it's a little bit difficult to hear you, especially for the people that's listening on YouTube as well, too. So let me go ahead and get to Josh. Let me get to Josh, and then we'll get to Original. Professor, I got you as well, too. Joshua, go ahead. You got it.
I just want to say my opinion is on this.
Joshua, do you got a headset on?
Oh, hold on 1 second. I'll drop down. I'll cut it off.
Okay. Everybody, if you have a headset on, please take the head. It is difficult. It's muffled and it's low. It's hard to hear you guys with the headset on. I know some of you may be driving or moving around, but if you can take the headset off, please go ahead and take it off because it is difficult to hear you guys.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you much better.
Okay. I think the thing about when it comes to this whole thing about anti-white racism, I think the whole thing is really just like propaganda and things like that because I live not too far. I live in Buffalo. I live not too far from where the shooting happened, and that rocked my community. And I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think it's just all propaganda and just like straight up racism that they're just trying to spread. There's nothing going on that's like that I can say that's anti-white or like black people don't really have a history of being quote unquote anti-white. It's just our retaliation for us standing against their racism. So that's just my opinion.
All right, appreciate that, Joshua. Let me go ahead and get to Mr. Original. Mr. Original, how you doing tonight, Original?
Oh, we doing great tonight. And I just want to say this. See, as a child, my mother taught me this. She said, I don't know if I mentioned this before in your space, but she said, white folks gonna be white folks. I don't care where you put them. They ain't gonna be right. They ain't gonna act right. They ain't gonna do right because they just ain't right. So don't ever have any faith, trust, or belief in them because they will fail you every time. And see, this is what I have been saying about Donald Trump. I know there are some people who saying they're gonna vote for Donald Trump. They're saying, and I had mentioned to you before about someone posted part of a space where a sister, I don't know if she's from Chicago or what, but saying, we MAGA people have to stick together. And there was one of them there saying, well, you don't belong in here. We don't want you in here. Get out of here. We don't want you. I mean, and so the other guy, I guess I don't know if he was trying to be diplomatic or what, but I don't trust white folks. White people, I mean, if black folks haven't found out by now that white folks can't be trusted, I don't know what to tell you. And that's why I keep saying, I will not vote for Donald Trump unless I know that there's reparations on the platform, lineage-based reparations on the platform. And it's bad enough. The boy has told so many lies. It's bad enough for us to vote for him, even if he said that. He more than likely he would renege on it. So that's how I see this whole issue right here. Because see, but peep this though, Newstoter. Now he is saying that white people, this anti-whiteness is worse than racism against black people. That lets me know that the Democrats, a lot of these people, they know how badly we are treated in this country. But see, they're just ignoring it. But they would use it to pump up their own platform. You see? So it's no secret that these people know. They know what our ancestors went through, and they know what we are going through. So don't look at me. Anyone can get mad at me. I don't care because this is my vote. And nobody or nothing has control of this vote except for me. Now anybody can get mad, do what you want to do, but I'm just telling people, if you think, it's enough that we're not voting, but to go over there and vote for this nutcase and believe that he's going to do right by us, oh, no, that's just not happening. So I just want people to be very careful as to how you use your vote. Because once we see the Democrats, we all saw the Ed Gordon video with Jim Crow Joe, how he just kept dancing around, did not want to talk about reparations. Then he said, well, if he did it, the Indians have to be included. Well, we wasn't included when they got reparations. And Donald Trump is not any different. No, he is not. He is not any different. So I just want to say that so people can understand that this is real. This is how white people get down, and black people need to understand that. But I would like to hear from some people who are saying that they're going to vote for Donald Trump, what their thoughts are regarding this issue. Because if you're thinking you can still vote for him and you're not, and I don't know if you're getting any concessions or not, because my point is this: I don't want to hear about some back alley deal that somebody may have made and said they're going to be some concession. Oh no, the concessions have to be up front and exposed so everybody can see it. So that's just where I'm at with that, and I'll land with that.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear tonight too. Because I know we have a number, and vote for whoever you want to vote for. I understand people want to vote for Trump, and it's not so much because they're in love with Trump or they like Trump simply because they're tired of being treated the way they are by the Democrats they feel, and they don't want to vote for Joe Biden. Also, they might be in line with the actual policies he have against immigration as well too. So I have no issue with that. But it's kind of like it was a few years ago, when Biden was saying you ain't black if you don't vote for him, or they're going to put you back in chains, and just crazy stuff that Joe Biden was saying, stuff like that. And a lot of black people who were Democrats would sit up there and like, well, he didn't mean it that way. He just y'all read too much into it. And so I kind of would like to hear that. And of course, people gonna vote for no matter who they want to vote for. So even with him saying this and that or whatever, and like I said, it's no secret. White men, I've been hearing that my whole life, talking about that they're the most discriminated group in this country. They've always said that from the time, I guess, they felt affirmative action. Well, really from the time the civil rights movement, everything took place with that. They've been talking about that they were the ones being bullied and they had to give up this and give up that. So that's really no surprise to me whatsoever. But I would like to hear from some of our black Republican brothers and sisters up in here that's going to vote for them. I know a couple people said, that that was a hit piece because I actually posted something a couple days ago and they were saying that, that wasn't real, that they were basically doing surveillance on Trump and everything else. So I like to hear from some of our brothers and sisters that's going to vote Republican and see about it. I'll be honest, in the last election, I did vote, but I didn't vote for Biden nor Trump. I went ahead and I left that blank and I filled in the actual, the person just filled in a name for president. So I actually took part of the actual election process, but I did not vote for either one. And I can be honest here, I'm not going to vote for either one this election either. I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. And I can't see myself voting for Donald Trump either. So, I'm going to still take part in the actual election process. But, neither one of these gentlemen personally, I'm going to vote for. But I'm not going to tell anybody in this space who you should or shouldn't vote for. You're a grown person. Vote for whoever you feel, best suits your needs. But for me personally, that's a pass for me. Let me go ahead and get to I said we got Trouble up here. Shout out to Trouble. I know you. We talked earlier today. I know. So I know you busy. So I want to definitely get you up in here. We got Rella. Shout out to Rella and of course Professor and anybody else in the listener section down there. Y'all feel free to come on up here, speak on it. Y'all see the title. Y'all see what the room we're talking about. I see some of our people over there on YouTube. Sean Washington says Trump whole life has been a big lie. And I guess originally you was the last person who spoke, so somebody said 100 on to you as a caller. So shout out to you, original, for coming up here speaking as always. We got sister Shannon. I see she came up here as well. But Trouble, go ahead, you got it.
No, Rella was up on the stage before I was, so I'll go after Rella. But I appreciate it though, Toter.
For real, I thought you had your hand up before Rella, but it don't matter.
Rella was already on the stage, so she can go ahead and go.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks. Something is going on with the platform. It wouldn't allow me to raise my hand. Every time I did it, it would like put it down.
Yeah, I saw your hand kept going down. I thought maybe you was getting ready to, took it down for a second. But go ahead, Rella. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Shout out to the space. Definitely shout out to all my beautiful sisters and brothers in here. And definitely original. I love the fact that he stands full chested in his submission. Shout out to DJ and like I said, and everybody in the space. Listen, Trump says anti-white feeling in USA is worse than black racism. In his statement of feeling white is a social construct. He's not a white man. His family has a nationality and ethnicity. What he's feeling is that white umbrellation that's happening, and it probably poses a threat to him and whomever he comes from, because they, in that segment or group, are no longer seen as just white anymore. That's why the Jews are running around here hollering anti-Semitism, and let's get these laws passed, and utilizing the Republican Party to pass treasonous laws by way of a foreign government and an organization
who is a facilitator of the bill that was just passed, an anti-Semitism act through the House. See, Trump is going to have to delineate himself from the difference between the Jews that are in public office or a part of AIPAC or any other nationality under the term whiteness, Italian, Irish. There, he has to delineate himself. And all the Anglos descendants that are still running around here and their children, they're having to delineate themselves. And so that feeling of anti-white, it has nothing to do with black racism, because black people are not racist towards white people. Black people can have a prejudice towards white people, but we are not racist towards white people. And yes, I've heard Mark say, well, we need to act accordingly, but history and present day actions prove that we do not control anything having to do with keeping white people out of anything. The situation down in Louisiana, where they are literally demanding that an entire group of people who disassociated themselves from Baton Rouge to create their own town, is demanding that Baton Rouge pay $50 million a year to a town that could not sustain itself on its own. These are white people. So, and when I say white people, these are white people who have a nationality. So there is no anti-white. There's no anti-white because they're able to do what they've been able to do, and that's genocide, pillage, and actually commit treason all up and through the United States. Trump literally is going to have to pick a side. It's either going to be America first, because that's what they keep running on, or it's going to be he's going to choose the immigrants, the white, quote unquote immigrants. And when I use that term loosely, it's an umbrella term. And he's going to have to name himself, call himself out. You white in what way? White is not your culture. White is literally something that was a smoke mirror screen term developed so that people would not have to recognize that there are, immigrants running around here and destroying the country. He's apparently going and getting ready to have I think the Independent Party is hosting a convention for him. Why? It's because these people are able to move in and out of organizations and in and out of public spheres and places without anyone calling them out on their ideology and what they stand for. So they use the term whiteness. They can't do that anymore. And it's frustrating them. They don't like the fact that we've developed this mechanism of delineation, because now you have to name yourself. You have to claim what are your family's traditions, the things that you come from, the historical records that you have participated in this country. And they don't like that. So I don't believe it's worse than racism and hatred and genocide that's happening towards Black people. I believe that is something that, again, they can no longer hide behind. It's like them sheets, them curtains that they pull over their faces when they want to commit harm. They can't do it anymore. You can no longer do it anymore. So I believe that we should keep and continue pulling back the layers, demanding that they come out of the shadows, out of the suits that they put on when they came out of the sheets, and call them on their treason bullshit and name them. My father said, you call a spade, and that's what we're doing. And if they don't like it, tough cookie, because they're the ones that created this demonic system that we're living in, and they want to turn around and say, oh, and cry foul. So I'm with Original in the sense of we are demanding tangibles. We are demanding that there are readable in actionable items coming out of any politician, any organization that supports the campaigns of politicians, to have a viable list of agenda items. And if you poor whites, Italians, Irish, Germans, wherever you're from, Sweden, Russians, whomever you are that's in the United States, and you've been here this long and you don't know what the hell you want in a politician, and you only want someone because they have pale skin and clear feet, you are the problem. So don't hide now. Now that you got the Israeli and the Palestinian people on the U.S. soil having wars, now you want to hide behind whiteness. No, you come out the shadows. It ain't never stopped you before.
Okay, for a second, I thought I was in the Matrix. So thank you, Rella. Thank you. Let me give a shout out real quick to EHZ for the contribution on Cash App. Professor, I'm going to get to you, Trouble. Professor, I know you had your hand up and then you put it down. Did you want to say something, Professor, real quick, or you want to go after the speakers? It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead and let the ladies get it in right there, and I'll go after them.
Okay, let me go ahead and get to Miss Trouble. I know DJ, he got kicked out of the space. He was having some issues, so hopefully he'll come back up in here as well too. Y'all make sure y'all share the room out tonight as well too. What's going on, Trouble?
Hey, Newstoter, what's good with you, brother?
What's up now? Glad to hear from you tonight.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a little bit I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it to the space, but thanks to my husband's fabric organizational skills, we was able to just make one trip out of town rather than 2 trips that we had originally planned. So he made their boys throw away a whole bunch of stuff they thought they was going to keep. So that's what's up. But yeah, so the title, Trump says anti-white feeling, keyword feeling, in the U.S. is worse than black racism. Keyword racism. So a feeling is something that's completely different than what racism is, because a feeling is something that's based on an emotional state. It's a belief, and that belief could be false, could be in your mind, but it's not tangible. It's not exactly tangible. It's just something that is. You know, it's a reaction to whatever. Racism is an actual thing. It's an actual thing that we've actually experienced. So you can say the anti-white feelings, but it's never going to be worse than the actual thing. So I think what I don't understand why it's always compared to the racism that black folks have went through and are continuing to go through, because a lot of the so-called anti-white feelings are coming from their proxies, all of these other people that they decided to let into the country. So address them, address what's going on with them. But it's always incumbent upon white folks, and I don't care if it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, to make it a white and a black thing, whereas that's not actually what's going on. Us black folks, we've always felt the same way about John Adams, you know. So why won't you address exactly who it's coming from? As far as Trump having to choose where he's going to fit at in white society versus, as far as what Rero was saying, as far as the Jews and actual white people, all of them, Germans, Italians, they all fall under the clause of whiteness, and even the Jews do. And Trump is not going to choose one or the other. Yeah, they say America first, but you know, when Trump was in office, he signed an order to define Judaism as a race or ethnicity. he signed an order as president against anti-Semitism at colleges. So he's passing laws for the Jews. So they're all under the paradigm. They're all under the cloak of whiteness. So they don't feel like they have to choose. I agree with I Am Money when she says, well, it's that political fodder he's given to his base because he has to give them something. But we're in an election year where you are, to a certain degree, even if you're not specifically coming out and saying it, because I haven't heard him say it. I haven't heard him say that he wants the black vote. I keep hearing black folks who want to vote for Trump, specifically based on some immigration that he didn't do the first time he was in office. I keep hearing them say that they're going to vote for them because, he's going to give us the immigration. That's not giving us anything specific for us because all of them mother suckers are immigrants. Him and his daddy and grandpappy are immigrants. I don't know what it's going to take for my people to realize we are the only non-immigrants here, other than, the red natives. All of them suckers are immigrants. So, I really don't know what else to say, but I just wanted to come up and express the fact that your white feelings, ukfe your white feelings, and ukfe uye too. Y'all can have your feelings because everybody got feelings. I mean, damn, sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. I'm just saying because almond joys got nuts and mounds don't. I like almond joys, but sometimes I want a mound.
Hey, let me go, man.
Hey, put you can't give some Negroes a chance. I was wondering. I said, don't let them come up here. And sure enough, here you come.
Man, come on, man. Everybody know this shit.
Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I mean, you hold on for a second, Trevor. Let me apologize to you. I know we always talk about trying to help black people out and stuff like that, but some Negroes don't want to be helped. This nigga wastes every time that he comes up in here drunk and high, and he can't stay on his damn mic. He just got up here, and he's already cutting up here. It's not even 9 o'clock, and this nigga's already high and drunk. Go ahead, Trouble.
Now, let me go ahead and land my plane, bro. I realize sometimes I'm a little bit long-winded. I'm a little tired tonight, so I'm trying to get my thoughts together. And I'm so tired of the pale people. I'm tired of them always having these unjustifiable feelings because you now have to share your teams with other people. You now cannot just get jobs solely based on the fact that you are white, because there are a whole lot of more brown and black folks in this country that have skills that are better than yours, that are worthy of the job. And so you can't just know somebody on the job and get it because you're white and they say so. You got to now have certain skills or whatnot, or you have to just share your things, period. And I always say this, and I'm going to say it again because it fits the psychology and mindset of the childishness that goes on with white America. It's just like the movie Rosewood, when the white man was upset because black folks had a piano. And then he's crying about, the black folks over there, they got a piano. I don't even have a piano. And the nigger over there, he has a piano. And the man turned around and had to ask him, well, can you play the piano? No, I can't play the piano, but it's not fair. They got one, I want one too. And that is really just the reality of white folks in this country. You want something that you don't even know how to work. You want a job that you don't even have the skills for, but because you're white, you feel like you deserve to have that daggone job. Because you're white, you feel like you deserve to have that opportunity. And you're feeling the crunch of that, but you're feeling the crunch of that, white people, because of the things that you have done to set it in motion. You continue to bring all of these immigrants and other people over here, and now you're sitting back crying because you're sitting on the backseat. You're sitting there crying because your lawmakers that you didn't realize was in the pockets of the elite, in the pockets of the lobbyists, in the pockets of the corporations. You thought they was there for you. You thought that they was going to come in and set laws against them Negroes, and it backfired, and it's affecting you too. See, it ain't just affecting us no more. They being touched. They ain't used to being touched, and they gonna they're going to get touched just a little bit more before it's all said and done. Because Most High spoken. I'm going to land my plane.
Appreciate that, Trouble. And that part that part you was talking about on Rosewood too, I like that part too, because that same they was up in there when they was talking about the piano. They was also you had one of the white cats in there talking about Don Cheadle character was married to a white woman. He's got that white wife. He's married to that white woman too. And it was like, Sarah's not white. She's Seminole and she's half black. So yeah, shout out to Trouble, because that was a good movie. That Rosewood was a good movie. Let me go ahead and get to I see we got Sister Sean up here as well too. And like I say, I'm not doing this drunk high stuff tonight here either. Straight up, I try to give somebody a chance to come up here. We're not doing that tonight, man. If you want to come up here and speak, I have no issue. You know, I have no issue with anybody coming up here to speak. Just come in the speaker section, sit there, raise your hand, and we'll get to you. But sitting up here, we're not doing that tonight. We're not doing that. Let me go ahead and get Sister Sean. Sister Sean, I wonder where if y'all know where Mark is at, because I would love to get Mark's opinion on this thing that Trump's talking about as well too. But let me go ahead and get to Sister Sean. Sister Sean, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Sister Sean? I don't know, Sister Sean. I wonder if she might be in the Matrix.
Sister Sean, can you hear Toter? If you can't, he said go ahead and go.
I don't think she must be in the Matrix, because Sister Sean normally she'll go ahead and speak. So, Sister Sean, what I can do? What you say, Professor?
She landed her plane already.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop Sister Sean now because I know she's probably in the Matrix. Sister Sean, I'm gonna drop you down and you can come right back up, and we'll get back to you. Let me go ahead and get to I guess Professor, go ahead, and then we'll get back. We'll get to Rella.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Total, man. A lot of these white folks, man, that keeps talking about they've been discriminated against, particularly the white man. I think a lot of this anger is coming from too, as people are continuing to fight back against what the white man has done over the period of time. People are standing up. People are saying, "Hey, we're not going to take this anymore." And this is that's where all this is coming from. They don't like people fighting back against me or pushing back against them. And I remember, I think this was last month, I think you maybe mentioned it in a space. There was a UN advisor who stated that the white man has basically on the verge has extinct the planet. Okay? And I can't remember her name. I had to go back and look it up. But she said the white man was actually the most dangerous man on earth. That's right. And see, I think when you hear stuff like that, or you see somebody that's in a position like that speak out against what the white man has done, this is some of the stuff that they don't like. They'll call that anti-whiteness. They'll say, well, people are picking on them. Okay? So I just want to throw that out there. I'm going to land my plane right there.
All right, Professor, appreciate that. Let me real quick. I see Sister Sean made it back up. Well, it looked like she made it back up. I don't know if she dropped back down. Okay, I see her now. But real quick,
I'm here. I had some difficulty. Can you hear me? Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so what I would like to say on this whole Trump thing, this is what I want the community to understand. When it comes to Trump, let's not let him forget the Platinum Plan. And I want to remind all of the community of the Platinum Plan. That Platinum Plan was a pledge of $500 billion with a B. Think about that. Just suppose that on all the stuff that's going to these wars, Ukraine, Israel, and everything else. So to me, in the next election, that's our starting point. You have already offered the Black community, that's, he said, President Trump's promise to Black America over 4 years, so it's a trajectory, 500 billion. That's the starting point. So the reason why we need to understand that is that we cannot get caught up in being used as pawns. Here's what I mean. They know we're angry over immigration. So we don't want to be used as pawns to bring them over the line for immigration when they still ain't going to do one iota for us. And I hope I'm saying this properly. So what I'm trying to say is they know that we're angry with immigration. So what they're doing is just taking our fervor, taking that energy, but they're taking it for selfish reasons without giving us nothing, zero. So all they're doing is capitalizing. They're capitalizing on the discourse. So you're going to capitalize on this discourse, but you're still not going to give us nothing or zero. So I am anti-open border. I am anti-immigration, illegal immigration, period. But we have to be very careful not to let them use us as a pawn, right? To be able to get the Republicans in power when the Republicans still ain't going to do nothing about us. So for Trump to get my vote, Trump is going to have to reinstate and back up, that's all over the internet, that platinum plan of $500 billion to Black America. That's something that we forgoed. We were scared. That's what he pledged to us. So now that he pledged to us, let's take him to task on it. Now, if you're not going to do that, you're not going to nickel down slick me. Just because you know that I'm upset over open borders. You got two things to fix. You got to fix Black America and you got to fix these borders. So don't allow yourself for him to use, and I think this is what they're doing. They're going to just use open borders. Open borders is a universal problem. No, you got a specific problem, which he calls Black America, but it's still like somewhat of a dulo twist. They're going to say, oh, we're going to get the Black Americans to say we're against open borders. Well, everybody's against open borders. See? But we still don't galvanize and then we don't secure what we need specifically for ourselves. But what we do is give them what? An out. Oh, well, we gave you open borders. No, you didn't give me a mofo thing. I got you, Newstoter, because I like to cuss. I'm on Newstoter. I can't cuss. You ain't gave me a mofo thing. You gave an open border vote, which everybody's against. I don't have nothing to do with us. So we need to take this platinum plan and we need to put that back on the table. And that's the beginning of the conversation. No more, no less. It is $500 billion. Any Republican that we negotiate and talk with, we are going to start with that $500 billion. I believe we dropped the ball. We should have accepted that plan. Ice Cube was right. There's no method of being or no excuses of us being afraid of each side of these parties. These parties do not have our best interest at hand. The only best interest and the only hand is the hand when you're going to come in and grab your power. And I think we're understanding that right now. Here's another thing that's very, very important. Family, community. This anti-white feeling worse than black. This is a nickel, dime, slick, do, low twist. They are literally reversing everything, all of the protections and law, civil rights, everything else. And they're reversing it against us. We've got to understand what's happening. There is nothing with no white man when they are in distress. There's no white woman that is a damsel in distress. There are a bunch of Karens out there that have been emboldened. And what they're doing is they're doing a play, a reverse racism play. Okay? We've got to fight back on that. And here's another thing that's going on. CRT, critical race theory, all of these projections, right? This is nothing but projection. In other words, they're reversing everything back on us to what they're doing. So what we need to do is really fight back on that. And here's what we're going to do. All of these laws, yesterday, they did the anti-Semitism law. We already know we've been complaining about the anti-Asian law. Here's the baseline. The baseline, and this is my new motto, there needs to be a law against implementing laws that have no basis or not rooted in fact or statistics. They are literally passing laws that are not rooted in facts or statistics. They're lies. So this is nothing but something that we can put the cogs on the wheel. This is still anti-blackness. It's anti-blackness because you're literally instituting laws that are opposing to your FBI statistics. The FBI statistics doesn't say that the Asians are the most hated group. The FBI statistics does not say that the Israelis are the Jews are the most hated group, but yet we have a whole government implementing law on lies. Hashtag stop implementing law on lies. All of it is to cover yourself from your white supremacy. And then now what you're trying to do in this topic says anti-white feeling Trump worse than black. What you're doing now, you're trying to flip it on us. You're trying to flip our pain. It's nothing but all of this is nothing but another example of pimping our pain. If you look into what's going on with this Palestine thing, and every single struggle family, they have got to connect it to us. If you're looking at how they're looking at the Palestinian thing and that Hamas, they are comparing that to Nat Turner. They have nothing, they have no barometer other than our pain, other than our struggle, other than our greatness. They are literally using everything, all of our pain, all of our strides, everything that have advanced them to the point to have the ability for a freedom of speech, to use them selfishly for themselves, even if it means to put in laws that are not based on receipts, not based on data, and not based on statistics. We are in a troubled time, family. That's what I'm going to be fighting, because there's no law. The very first law should have been is the anti-blackness law. And the very same people who are the most suppressed, the most aggrieved, the most for receives statistics, who that is supposed to be representing us, who totally ignores that through benign neglect. It's unsubstantiated. So all of that is white supremacy. So it's okay. It's okay. All of that is going to be added to our reparations claim. All of this is wrong. So we're going to add that as more trauma and more pain and more substantial evidence why we need to be repaired. Because you're sitting up here this is federal harm, y'all. This is federal government harm. The federal government is still harming us by passing fraudulent laws that are not even based on statistics and giving it to other people. So this needs to be added onto our reparations claim. So when anybody tells you, oh, that was a long time ago, oh, hell no, it ain't. You're still discriminated against us because we have a whole white supremacy House of Congress, the House and the Senate, passing laws that are fraudulent, that don't have nothing to do with what the facts really are. And they're telling us we can't get an anti-black bill. And you got people who are 1 to 2 to 3% of the population getting bills. And now we've got to deal with them. And
we gotta get ready to land it, Sister Sean.
Okay, let me land it. Here's another thing I want y'all to do. All this mess, this is importing anti-blackness. We're going to add that in 2024. So not only do we have a claim from 1865, okay, and the 250 years, and we got the 250 years chattel slavery, 1865 emancipation, we got redlining and all that. We got stuff all the way up to 2024. You are still doing us harm because you are importing anti-blackness. You're importing Ukrainians who call us monkeys. Now, they sitting up there. I don't know if you guys see. I need to tweet it. Yesterday, the article came in. I think it's the Hill Wall Street Journal. They're trying to figure out how to import the Palestinians in here. And they said it in the article. They're going to get free housing, total free housing, pathway to citizenship, everything that all of these people south of the border get. So the Ukrainians.
Okay, Sister Sean, we've been going for a minute, sweetie. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, we've been. We get you. We gonna come back to you too. We got you. We gonna come back to you.
Yeah, we fighting on that because they're importing. Now they're trying to import the.
We got you, sweetie. We got you. We got you. Okay, we're gonna come back to you, Sister Sean. We got you on that. Let me go ahead and get to we got a new speaker up here. Let me get to that Negro. That Negro, what's going on with you tonight?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Newstoter?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, brother. As usual, great space. Shout out to you and brother DJ and Professor for sure. Appreciate your guys' scholarship every time, man. Oh, yes, sir. No, I got to do my thing. Peace, power, and Negro reparations, specifically for the descendants of the Black American Negro freedmen who built this country with slave labor, per the land's promise in Special Field Orders 15. January 16, 1865. Question of the room. Trump says anti-white feeling in the USA is worse than black. Man, I can't even believe after all this good stuff I'm hearing about that cat, I hear some shit like this. Like,
try not to curse that Negro. Try not to curse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My bad, Newstoter. Yeah, man, that's just. We won't cuss. We'll call it sacrilegious because, I mean, how can I be hearing all these good things from the emissary, Mark Carter, and P. Ray, and all this amazing information? I get all sparked, feeling like they handing us zooms and whams, and then bow, they backhand us dead in the mouth, man. So I would hope, I'm hoping that was like spun in a direction to make us doubt or I guess give a side eye to the conversation. I would hope that was just strategically placed in front of us, but we can't be stupid either, because, screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. So I would take this, definitely analyze this, but also know that anything good they are going to tear up and make seem horrible. So just, I love you, brother, for coming here and always filling us full of the truth, or the truth as far as you know it. I really do appreciate that, brother, but I encourage us all to really do a deep dive yourself for anything, to make sure that everything is factual and what we are standing on cannot be discriminated or tossed out. So again, thank you for saying that. I feel like I'm on a freaking what's that called when your emotions are all roller coaster, up, down, left, right. This reparations journey is something else, y'all. Thank God the ancestors are riding with us. So I'll land it right there. Do your scholarship and always critical think. Thanks for letting me speak, bro.
No problem. That Negro, appreciate you as always. Thank you for coming up here to speak. As always, guys, we got to try to pay the bill. So for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter. Guys, make sure y'all visit newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news. We can't put all the content on Twitter, so you guys need to go to the actual site, support, help the analytics, help us grow, share the content here, not only on Twitter, but share it on other social media platforms as well, too, guys. Make sure that you go to fund it socially as well, too, guys. Support the Black platforms. We definitely need that. We have the Newstoter membership up in the Jumbotron. For those that's on YouTube, the Newstoter membership is on the actual screen. Click that and become a customer. You can go ahead and create an account on Newstoter. It takes less than a minute. Become a contributor for as little as $1.75 a month. You can support the platform for as little as $1.75 a month. You can support the platform. For those that do not have Cash App, we have Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. We definitely have not been getting the support as lately, so we definitely need our people to support us. We hardly ever get the support we used to get, and we need that support to keep growing and become larger so we can go ahead and put this content out more and more to people. So for those that can, and I tell you before, if you got $1 that you can contribute to the platform, it is greatly appreciated. We are not trying to break the bank. We understand we're living in hard times. We understand that the black dollar goes far less than any other dollar in the country as well, too. So for those that can support us for as little as $1 on Cash App, or be it Venmo, PayPal, it's up in the Jumbotron. For those on YouTube, it's up in the description. Go ahead. For those that can, for as little as $1.75, go ahead and join the platform. That way you can support us monthly. You can support us monthly for as little as $1.75. I will say this real quick. For those that do support us that do become a member, if you guys get paid at the beginning of the month, and you can support it, then go ahead and create a membership at the beginning of the month if you get paid at the end of the month. But don't create a membership, guys, and you can't keep up with the actual payment. That's why we made it affordable for everybody. For as little as $1.75, you can support a Black-owned business that curates news from other Black-owned businesses. So you're supporting a Black-owned business who supports other Black-owned businesses, and we need that support. Like I said, we have not been getting much love within the past few months that much, so we're definitely in need. We also have a subscription here on Twitter as well, too. We always talk about supporting Black business, but when it's time to actually support Black business, a lot of us don't. And I'm not talking about our usuals that's always supporting up in here. We need support. We need support to keep growing, to keep doing this stuff. And I'm not just talking about Twitter Spaces. I'm talking about an actual platform that is a Black American-owned news media site that has been around since 2017. Shout out to my man Ray for his contribution, but we need that. The way white media, PBS, all these other people get paid, they get supported. We need that in the Black community as well, too. We always talk about keeping the Black dollar in our community and letting it circulate. Well, we can start by supporting, like I said, we support many for free. We putting this content out. You know, we're not charging people on our site to put their content out. We're doing it for free. So by supporting us, you are supporting other Black-owned business. Let me say it again. By supporting Newstoter, you are supporting other Black-owned business. We have the Twitter subscription. For those that don't want to join the Newstoter membership, you can go to the actual profile page, and we have a subscription here on Twitter for $3 a month that you can support. And I want to give a shout out as well to we just got a major supporter yesterday. I want to give a shout out to the legendary, and I do mean legendary. You can go and check the actual profile page and look at subscriptions. We got a major shout out from the legendary Chuck D. Public Enemy. That's right. The legendary Chuck D. Public Enemy. So shout out to Chuck. I thanked him in the DM so much. So thank you, Chuck. I'll be trying to get Chuck to come up in the spaces, y'all. I'm still working. I told Chuck, I say, Chuck, I'm going to keep trying. I hadn't had no success yet, but I'm not going to give up. Hopefully one day, Chuck will get a little weak in the knees, and he'll come up and he'll come to the actual platform. And when he does, it'll be the most lit Twitter space that night on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now. So shout out to the legendary Chuck D. Public Enemy. Fight the power. Let me go ahead and let me give a shout out to Andre too. Andre, thank you for your contribution as well. Let me go ahead and get it around. Let me get it to Original. Mr. Original, what's going back on?
Yeah, I just want to say this, that, okay, now, we all know what a liar Donald Trump is. Now, he's telling this lie about how white people or white men are more is worse than Black racism. And no offense to sister, but when she brought up the platinum plan, and she said that he was offering, what was it, $500 billion? It's not for him to offer that to us. We have to tell them what we want and what we need. But not only that, yes, Ice Cube contract with Black America was used for that platinum plan. However, when you read the platinum plan, it has the word minority in it 3 times. So that right there lets me know it's already a flim-flam. That they're trying to use perception management to make us think that they are assisting us, but yet they want to make sure that other people benefit from our pain and suffering, and we don't. And we cannot allow that, because no one else was enslaved but our ancestors. No one else went through that, and no one else in this country have been treated the way that we've been treated. And so we can't just say, we can work with that. That is a start. It's not about getting a start, because I know how these people get down. They're white. They'll give you $500 billion, and they'll say, well, oh no, we've already taken care of that. Y'all should have got it when you was getting it. That's how they operate. So $500 billion, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. $500 billion. No, that won't. I put it this way: that won't work for me, because I know what these people get down is, and I think we have to be, as I keep saying, we have to be very careful when we're dealing with liars. You know, because if they was really truthful about assisting us, they never would have put the word minority in there 3 times. You see, that right there let me know that they was never sincere about doing anything for us. Because if we let that go, we don't have anything. All these other folks, including the illegal aliens, will take that money, and we will be sitting on the side with nothing as usual. So I just want to say that we got to make sure that that we dot our I's, cross our T's, and use our semicolons in the right place. Because you know, when you don't put that semicolon in the right place, the whole sentence is jacked up. So I just want to say that, and say that we're just not accepting anything. No, it has to be. It's going to be all. We're not accepting a partial payment. And I'll land with that.
Hey, I got it, because we got some funny questions. We got some funny comments over here on YouTube, guys. So I gotta read it. I didn't get a chance to check you guys' comments. I saw a couple comments about the platinum plan here on X, and I know a lot of people. And too, from what my understanding from the platinum plan, I read and I forget, it's been a while. I can't remember, but it seemed like it was like a lot of these things. It mentions blacks, and then it started mentioning other people and things from what I can remember as well too. It seemed like it mentioned other groups in there as well too, but let me go ahead and because we got a couple comments, and let me read a couple of them real quick. George Robertson says, I'm voting for Trump because of mass deportation and the economy, oil and gas. That's nothing personal. I'm a black American. Deedra James says, the couch will give you Trump and more conservative judges. Democracy will end. She said, George, this will be your last time voting and Trump will deport you. I don't know if Trump can deport an actual black American. Extreme X says, Deidre, what are you afraid of? We lived through worse presidents than this. DJ say, exactly. Deidre says, Project 2025 is what they're going to use. All the civil rights will be gone, so it's up to you to stop Trump. Deidre says, if you don't want to live back in the 60s, you have to keep Trump and the Republicans out of office. Deidre says, I subscribe to get my 2 cents in. Okay. Deidre says, you're aware of Biden's, Extreme X said, you're aware of Biden's history. I think no matter what, no matter who's president, we've seen some of the worst people in history be up in that White House, and no matter what, no matter how bad life was for us, we always survived. I see no difference in like the quality of my life hasn't changed one bit, whether Biden was in office, Obama was in office, Trump was in office. So, I'm just going by what I've seen. When Bush was in office, I haven't enjoyed a great increase in the quality of my life compared from one president to another. I think in terms of, like I said, there's issues I have with definitely with Trump. I support the immigration thing as well too, but I do sometimes feel that the Republicans actually blow this immigration thing up, because when it all gets said and done, no matter who's a president, you still get flooded with illegal immigrants. Whether it's a major difference between one and the other, I really don't see. But either way, you're still getting flooded with illegal. So I think sometimes the Republicans kind of played it up. Oh, we're the party against illegals and this and that or whatever. But hell, ever since I've been alive, it's been a bunch of illegals coming in here. So I mean, what's what? Let me go ahead and get to we got DJ. You hadn't had a chance to speak. You want to go ahead and get it in, because everybody spoke up here, but we go ahead and get to you.
Shout out to the family. Newstoter was good. So yeah, I'm actually over here writing Deedra James back, and yeah, we've been voting Democrat for 60 years, and what have we gotten out of that? We already lived through Trump for 4 years between 2016 to 2020. Nothing really happened to us that was any different. Only thing results really so is that, we was making a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? Under Democrats, black people don't make money, it seems like. And it seems like there's a history of that. So we've been voting Democrats straight as a block for the last 60 some odd years. Ain't nothing came out of that. So what's the next move? I guess Trump was right. Hey, what do you got to lose? African American, you know what I'm saying? Black American. But all the Trump says any white feeling in the U.S. is worse than black racism. Well, maybe that could be true, because the internet, shout out to the technology gods, has woken up all the atrocities that white people have done. So yeah, your black friends don't want to be cool with you no more. Your Asian friends don't want to rock with you no more. Your Latino and Spanish friends, they don't want to deal with you no more. Even white people that are from white countries of Europe and so forth don't want to deal with y'all anymore, because we see white people come up on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Wookie-Woo, and talk about their own people every day now. That's all you see on the internet now. Is white people talking about other white people. That's all you see. Matter of fact, shout out to the Bush babies. You know what I'm saying? Bush Gardens in the building. Shout out to the brothers that whooped on that old white ranking. You know what I'm saying? Putting their hands on the elder black woman. So the white guy that was videotaping it, he said, the white guy was Trump. He started it all. And you don't condone violence or anything, but the guys did what they had to do. You know what I mean? So when he put the video up, only thing that he realized and saw that white folks were trying to hit us with the rook card, reverse Uno card, and say, hey, look, this is racism. Look at these violent thugs. You know what I mean? they're criminals, they should be locked up, all this other stuff. But even though he actually put the context of the information along with the video, that didn't matter, because this is what white supremacy is. Lie, cheat, deny, steal, kill, repeat. 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 I know this sounds like a broken record, but get it in your head, man.
All right. Real talk. Who had the hand? Rella, did you have your original? You had your hand up, the original Rella, I think. Okay, because it's Rella. Okay, I don't know what's up with this space, but go ahead, Rella.
Thank you for letting me speak again. DJ, I get what you're saying. And then I also get what Sister Sean is saying, but original again, brought it back full circle. When you look at the Platinum Plan, and I posted it below, and you go down the timeline, it spells out what things that he spoke to, his administration, because Ice Cube specifically said he hadn't even spoken to Trump. He only spoke to his administration at the time. And the $500 billion was just $500 billion in federal contracts. Half of our community is not even registered to actually to bid on federal contracts. So that means that anyone who is their business is classified as Black owned, which I'm finding that you have people who are classifying their businesses as being Black owned, and they're actually not descendants, but they're classified as being Black. And they could actually be someone who has maybe the one drop rule, or someone who, might utilize the minority classification, and they can actually get the Black owned recognition of that group, will actually allows even to have businesses recognized. It's not even, there's no metrics to actually quantify or to fact check whether or not these businesses are actually Black American owned. The other thing is that I agree, if we're going to even, no matter what party you're talking about voting for, it's really us, the people. Tupac said it before, the people are the ones who make the decisions. And I think the reason why Newstoter, you did not, I know the reason why you, yourself, myself, and anyone who's older than we are did not get the repair that they needed is because every time a movement was started, whether it was a groundswell, the bus boycott, or any other revolutionary situation that had happened, there was assassinations that were happening. People were being unalived and taken out of here. And then we never had representation in public office in a majority setting to actually pass or enforce laws to protect us as American citizens. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the 6th and the 4th articles in those Constitution. We really, really have to, and I believe the 7th as well. But we really got to look at this in not just a surface level conversation. We have to actually get to the crux of it. We do not have a majority representation. And you can tell when you have a Democrat and a Republican get together and pass the anti-Semitic act bill, and the bill is a treasonous bill. I don't like to quote Matt Walsh. I don't. However, he is correct. When you have people in power in a majority position and they're passing bills by way of anti-Semitic, because again, you can't go to the government and say, I'm being discriminated because I'm anti-white. People are calling me or having me feel like I'm anti-white. Remember, Ron DeSantis started that anti-white stuff. He's not even white. Ron DeSantis' family, I believe, are Italians. They're Italians, and I think he's Spanish or something next.
That's white too, I consider, but go ahead.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. listen to what I'm saying to you. Under the umbrella of whiteness, we know that we're talking about a collective group, right? Racial construct of whiteness. But his nationality of people are from Italy or Italian, or Cuban or something like that. They have a nationality, and they're using the cloak of whiteness to pass laws that benefit people who are Italian, who if we saw them on the street and we didn't know where they was from, we just call them white. But these people are in office. They have literally what do they call a fan base, or a supportive group of people who are literally passing laws and lobbying money so that these people can be in office to represent them. He went to Israel on behalf of Florida, signed a declaration on behalf of the state of Florida that's part of the United States. How do you do that? Because of representation. He knew that he was going to use Israel money to do what he needed to do to run for president. He didn't care what the cost was. There's no loyalty to the United States. They've been committing treason since day one. But they all are using the cloak of whiteness. And we need to start to peel that back. I've said it before. White folks under the umbrella of whiteness, and Art has said it, they need to be called who they are. And then we need to also hold their feet to the fire. You feel like you've been treated anti-white? Go ahead and put your lawsuits up. What you gonna tell them?
You there, Rella? Are you done? Can you hear me, Rella?
Shit, when you have a Metro PCS, that happens. So that's probably what it is.
Hey, you there, Rella? She done went in the mix.
Don't forget it's the iPhone.
Okay, well, my girl Rella, she trying to come back up, so let her finish her point real quick.
Yeah, they land their plane, then they'll come right back up.
I heard that Black President. I don't have Metro PCS. They kicking me out. So I'm gonna land there and I'm gonna say this: when you talking the truth, guess what? The people who are watching our space, the technicians and the engineers that are watching our space, they watching each and every one of these spaces. They're gonna kick you out because they don't want you to be talking about the truth. And the truth of the matter is that these people have representation. We do not have representation. And the reason why we have not had representation is because we have not been focused on continuing the mission, and that was to get a majority.
Somebody, mic unmuted.
That's MF.
MF, you gotta mute your mic, sweetie.
I think she might be at work or something. She probably can't hear you.
Hey, MF, can you hear me? Okay, she muted it. Go ahead,
there we go. The people who have been in positions of power have kept us so focused on just trying to survive daily from being genocided out that we haven't kept to our guns of getting into political power and a political position where we can have representation. They want us to talk about surface level shit because they want us to feel about them.
Language, folks, language, but go ahead.
Sorry. What did I say? Did I cuss? I'm sorry.
You don't even know you cursed, but go ahead.
My bad. I don't remember. Did I cuss? What I say? All I'm saying is, did I say shit? I'm sorry, Newstoter. All I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I'm about to land it for you, but go ahead.
All I'm saying is, we got to figure out how to get into a position where we are focused on hitting our goals and getting into political power. That is our focus. And if we can't do that, we are going to miss the boat. The window is closing.
All right. Thank you, Rella. Thank you. I see we got new speaker up here, so I want to go ahead and get to MF Kush as well too, and then I'll get back to you. Black Pressure, if you want to speak too, because I see you up here. And Polo Styles, you were over here. I was going to ask you, Pressure, you didn't have your hand up. In Polo, I know Polo, you got another account when you're over here. So Polo, if you want to come back over here and get it in. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to MF Kush, and then I'm gonna go to Pressure because I want to get the new speakers in there. Let me go get the MF Kush, Pressure, and then I get to you, Sister Sean and Rero. But I want to get some, like I say, in Polo, if you get a chance to come back over here on X, Twitter, whatever the hell it is, come on over here and we'll get you in. But MF, how you doing tonight?
You in the Matrix. What you going at, man? You sounding like Optimus Prime.
Y'all can't hear me? Okay, hold on. Go ahead, MF. I'll be right back.
Okay. Peace, power, reparations to everybody. Shout out to the host of the couple.
All right. Let me straighten this up real quick, guys, and get back up in this. They say they can barely hit me on here, so let me go ahead and get back up in here.
Recently, a story with a lady who had in California.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a lady recently in California who had a bakery, and Tesla ordered cupcakes, and they canceled the order. It was $1,600. When I looked up the information on this lady was not Black American. She wasn't even an African. This lady was from Asia. She's an Indian from Asia. That's how deep this goes. When I go do these interviews with some of these Black business owners, I really have to do a really deep vetting process because I have just Africans on a website that talk about their Black owned. There's even white people on a Black owned website talking about that they're Black owned too. So you have to be careful about stuff like that. It is an issue, and I've been running into that issue right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I really just came up to echo what Rero was saying. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Thank you, MF. Let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure. Shout out to Just Cakes over there on YouTube as well, too. And yeah, Deedra, we're over here on X as well, too. This is a Twitter space that we're streaming on YouTube as well, too. So let me go ahead and get the Black Pressure. Pressure, it's been a minute since you spoke up in here. What's going on?
What up, fam? And white people been cracking the whip on me, man. So yeah, but like we was talking earlier, I was working 6-12, so I work 6 days, 12 hours, and I'm off every Sunday. So it's pretty much been my schedule for like the last 6 weeks, bro. But I'm good today. But I'm gonna come over the top rope. Brother Original tagged me in. He read my mind, so I'm gonna come over the top rope behind him. And like he said, and this is for all the people who are trying to justify Trump. I'm no Trump fan, and like we talked before, news, if Trump came out and said, hey, my first order of business when I get reelected is reparations for the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade in America, I'm voting for him. Other than that, like the brother Original says, we have a 400-year case study. I won't even mop the floor with those who disagree with me or would take me up on a debate and start in ancient times. I'm only going to start when slave ships pulled up in the Western world. We have a 400-year case study to show that in no form or fashion, white people cannot be trusted. Period, point blank. You cannot trust a white person. From the womb to the tomb, you can't trust white people. So, like our brother Malcolm X said, and Malcolm X is it's a brother that's about 55 years older than me. But Malcolm X said this in the 60s before I was born. He said,
You saying no white person can be trusted?
None, not a single one. So like Malcolm X said, and like I said, this dude is 55 years older than me. So he said this in the 60s. He said, black people have been voting for a certain party, right? Well, have been voting for a certain party. When black people were allowed to vote, he said, we've been voting Democratic, right? And he said this in the 60s. We're having the same conversation for the last 100 years that we've been having with white folks. We're having it in the 60s. He went back to the Emancipation Proclamation. So 65 would have been 100 years. And Malcolm X said, we're still having the same conversation. So you fast forward 50 years, black people are still in 2024. We're still having the same conversation we've been having for literally 150 plus years. And we're still having it with the same demographic of people. And like News, like DJ said, Trouble said, even if, like me, I don't vote. I don't vote. So, but like I said, say all the black people, the consensus as far as people that vote for Democrats, and at one time we had this, I think during Obama's term, they controlled everything. The White House, the Senate, everything. Right? Like Malcolm X said, our conversation never changed. We were still at the bottom. We were still last in everything, and we were still victimized by all America's institutions. So going back, just to bring it back home, vote for Trump all you want, or vote for the Democratic representative all you want. Common denominator, black people are still going to be at the bottom, and I'll mute up and listen.
Oh, hey, okay. Somebody, PJ Bell, he said this about you over there on YouTube. Says, you can't trust white people. You're racist as hell. So this other cat,
like I said, we don't have a 400-year case study for me to justify that statement. Black people have been living in the utopia since the 1600s, right? We've got everything we wanted, never been victimized, never anything. In fact, we're on the same pedestal as white people are, right? I'm gonna get up and listen.
Newstoter, can I ask Blood Pressure a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Pressure, you says that you don't trust white folks and you can't trust their word, and I 100%, 1,000% agree with that statement. But if that's true, then if President Trump was to say that he would give us reparations on day one, that defies logic, that you would vote for him, knowing that in the back of your mind, you know you can't trust white folks because you know the white man speaks with a forked tongue. So how could you still in good conscience vote for him knowing he lying?
That wouldn't make him less of a racist. Black people lined up to vote for Lyndon B. Johnson, signed the Voting Rights Act and all the Civil Rights Act. That didn't make him less of a Klansman. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, when it came strictly to reparations, if he promised he would do that, I would vote for him. That doesn't mean he's not a Klansman.
What about John Brown?
That's a story that you have to pull one particular fact out of to make it make sense. Now, I don't want to go into it because, like I said, I don't want to unless you wanted me to. But
if it's gonna be long.
It's like 30 seconds. If you look at the dude, black people were in that condition his whole life, right? He never bothered to start a Harper's Ferry raid. But what happened is when in one of the uprisings, his homeboy got killed in it, and that's when he got involved. But you look that up for yourself. I'm mute up and listen.
All right, appreciate that. PJ Bell, over there on YouTube, you can get up out of here because he's sitting up here talking about slavery, been going on for 1,000 years. America's just 250 years old, and he's over here excusing it. I'm sure this is some kind of either it's a Tom over here or it's a white man sitting up here talking noise or whatever. But after slavery, dude, you had Reconstruction, you had Jim Crow, you had all this other stuff. So PJ Bell. Yeah, you can go ahead and stick your head in the toilet for all I care. Let me get.
He probably had a transsexual grandmother. That's people that talk.
Yeah, you sitting up here trying to justify for half of the time that America, for the exception of for the past 50 years, America has been I'm talking about policy. Laws have been anti-black from before it was founded, when it was a colony. up until when it actually became an actual country, all the way for the vast majority of America's existence, America has been anti-black. So PJ Bell, like most white people, when you start sitting up here talking about the treatment of black people in this country, first thing you want to run up here and start talking about world history. Well, guess what? I don't live in Asia. I don't live in Africa. I don't live in South America. I don't live in any of these. I live here in America, the place that my people actually built. So we can sit up here the same way America talks about how great it is. We can sit up here and we can talk about it as well too. So, and PJ, DJ, I'm about to tell you to go ahead and block this a-hole over here right here running his mouth as well too, because there's always somebody sitting up here, some coward sitting up here. Yeah, I'm sure he got like some kind of like devil pick or something like that. So yeah, some kind of gothic type nonsense. But so you can go ahead and talk about them why black people. Why isn't Africa a continent is a superpower? Africa was a superpower until it went ahead and started doing business with a certain group of people. Let me go ahead and get to this is not justifying because the Irish were not considered human. Please, the Irish were white, and the Irish got treated like white, and the Irish was up there in New York when it was time to go ahead and get drafted, sitting up there killing black people left and right, and the actual government didn't do anything about it. So don't sit up there telling the Irish were amongst the worst masters and damn overseers that was in there too. So you can go ahead and I know Just Case told him to call in. He's too much of a coward to go ahead and call in. So sit over there on YouTube and go ahead and troll. Let me go ahead and get the Sister Sean, and then I'm gonna get to you, Black Majority State. I didn't even see you up here.
Hey, this is Sister Sean. Real quick, what I wanted to, I kind of wanted to speak to, I think it's Original Blood and Rero. I've got mixed affirmation for everything, but I wanted to be clear on this platinum plan. Let me tell you what I mean by it is that what I'm trying to say is, I think the key word I want everybody to get in their mind is baseline. So 500 billion, that's a lot of money, y'all. That's a baseline, okay? And Original Blood, he came out and he says, yeah, but there's a whole lot of stuff when you look in there. They got minority here, minority there. We understand that. We're smarter than that. And what I wanted to clarify is that we are not going to start behind one line or finish line. We're going to start with what your original proposal is. It's negotiations, the power of negotiation. So we're going to start with this 500 billion, right? But it doesn't mean that we're going to go for like all the nuances with old blood and consent, all this minority stuff. But here's the important piece, and here's what we're missing. We are not at the table. That's just the bottom line. So you've got to get to the table to be able to negotiate your baseline. So this is where we are defunct. And it needs to be somebody there to say, hey, thank you, but no thank you. I'd like the 500 billion, but we need to have some modifications. That's where we are lacking. So everything that get his name right, I don't want to disrespect.
Original.
Old Blood and Rero said that's completely correct. But I'm trying to take it to another level. Take your thinking to another level. We know what needs to be done, but we cannot do anything until we get to the table. That's why I support people who are coming to Washington, sitting down with congressmen and congresswomen and people of the House of Representatives and lobbying, even though we're small. That's the only way that you're going to do it. And what they've done, because they have the power to go into those congressmen and say, hey, I want you to write this bill, or I want you to write this bill. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get our votes. That's how it works, people. So I think everybody is going in the right direction. But in terms of this Trump white boy stuff, this is vitriol. This is nothing but trying to reverse our power. And what they're doing is they're trying to do just like they're doing over there in Israel. They're trying to make themselves as the victims when they are the perpetrators. So we are in a battle. And the only way that we're going to win is we've got to get at the table. Even though we know, but what's going down, our voices are not at the table. Our voices are on Twitter. But we don't have no power until we're at the table. So that tells me we need to be getting our people at that table. The people that, like Marcel Dixon. Marcel Dixon has been a primary example for all of the young. I know that there's going to be a lot of other political motivated people up under us. That's how we're going to win. That's the only way we're going to win. They've got to be at the table. If they're not at the table, we're just talking, y'all. We're just talking, and we'll keep it moving, and we ain't going to stop talking. I'm not trying to put a sour grape on it, because trust me, I'll never stop talking. But that's what it's going to take. So I want you to pontificate on that, and thank you for your time again, Newstoter. And thank you for all of the all of the positive criticism. This is good stuff here. It's good. This is how we work it out.
Yes.
And I'll fold my chair.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sister Shannon. It's always good to hear from you. Once again, guys, we still need that support on Cash App, $, Newstoter, $, Newstoter. We got a few people to donate. Let's see what's going to be the last broadcast for the week. Let's see if we can get at least a couple more people to go ahead and donate, even if it's just $1. $, Newstoter, $, Newstoter. Like I said, we're not trying to break the bank. I want to get to Rero, and then I'm going to get to you, Black Majority State, and Deedra. I know you're coming from off of, I want to get to you, Deedra, so stay there because I know you are on YouTube as well, too. So shout out to Deedra. She's up in the space. She has some stuff to say, and I look forward to hearing what Miss Deedra has to say as well, too. So we're going to get you in there as well, too, Deedra. Let me go ahead and get to Rero. Rero, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, Newstoter, thank you for allowing me to speak again. And peace and blessings to everybody who just came into the room. Love y'all. As far as the feeling of the anti-white feeling, I think Sister Shaw was talking about it earlier, and I'm noticing it a lot at work, and just like a lot in life. Back in the day, like when they came around, we would listen to them and kind of, we kind of felt like they knew something we didn't know, especially like about, getting into corporate America or jobs and stuff like that. So, but now they come around and people like just don't want to hear the emotions of everything they say. All of this stuff is new to them. We're dealing with people who created laws so that they don't have to have consequences in doing things that they know are wrong. They're not a normal people. I don't think that they'll be right no matter where they go. I think someone said that earlier, and I agree. They're not going to be okay no matter where they go, even on their own. If they were left to their own accord, I think they would just kill each other like they did before. So I don't think that what they're dealing with is anti-white anything. I think we're dealing with white fragility, at its finest. I mean, we have the president of the United States, who, is classified under white, talking about anti-white feeling. I mean, it's just the feeling part of it, so you have a feeling in your mind, like nothing is physically happening to you, nothing is verbally happening to you, it's just a feeling that you have. And yeah, I think that it's going to progress for them because people are waking up and people aren't marrying for money anymore. People aren't marrying just to get out of the, well, I guess some people are, I wouldn't say that. But majority of people are, they're trying to do it the right way. So it's gonna get a lot worse. And I'll end there. And thank you for allowing me to speak. I'll step down. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Hey, brother, real quick. Just real quick. Who was that that just spoke? I didn't.
That was Rero.
All right. Salute to the sister. She really put it in a perspective that we all need to think about. And to show how vicious and savage white people are. Before they went on a global campaign and slaughtered black people, they killed each other. You look at the Mediterranean and you look at Greece and Rome and Athens and Corinth and all that. These people slaughtered each other before they went on a global campaign to slaughter black people. So you salute to Rero, salute to the sister for that.
Let me go ahead and give a shout out real quick to Sister Sean, Miss Trigger, Brandon, and Asia for their contributions on Cash App. I definitely appreciate that, family. So thank you very much. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to the Black majority state, and then I want to get to Deedra. I know your hand's not up, but I want to see if you want to speak. I know you're over here, so we'll get the Black majority state. Then we'll get to Deedra. We'll get to looks like we got Rella up here, and Professor, I see you up there as well too. So everybody's this is a pretty nice space going on. I'm glad to have the participation tonight that we got. I know sometimes y'all are quiet and not too many hands up, but I'm glad to see that everybody's kind of in it tonight. So let me go ahead and get to Black majority state. Go ahead, Black. How you doing tonight?
Hey, hello. I'm good. I hope everybody's doing good. Last day of work this week. So to the title of the space, I saw that video. He's got to cater to that base. I think he's accepted an invitation to the Libertarian National Convention, and I think he's just really trying to make sure that he has these votes locked up. And whatever he's going to do with Black Americans, seemingly, is going to be with these Black Republicans as his, what they call it, surrogates, mouthpieces, whatever. I would suggest that platinum plan is set up as an annual disbursement, clean up the language, make it very lineage specific, but it should be an annual thing. And then he needs to attempt to attach that to every single large bill that comes out of Congress every single year that he's in office. So for 4 years, how many ever times he can try to attach a permanent $500 billion annual specific to the lineage. That's what I would suggest if I was sitting down in a conversation with those people, for that to be something that Black Americans can really get behind and get out and vote for him. I came up because shout out to Black Pressure and working those 612s, man. I miss working 6 days. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be working 7 days soon, but I know what it is. But Malcolm X, yeah, he was anti-liberal. He really took the time to point out what that was all about. But the solution wasn't not to vote for Malcolm. We've been, kind of breaking down his later stages of life once he left the NOI. And his solution, believe it or not, was to actually run. There were plans on the table for him to run as a senator in Michigan. His wife, Miss Betty Shabazz, was the vice president of the New Republic of Africa, which we all know as the organization that was attempting to get our people to migrate to the South in order to essentially declare those states as our natural homeland. So there's always what is the solution based on the information that's being presented. So, yeah, we know these Democrats are what they are. We know the Republicans are what they are. Third parties don't have a chance in national and most statewide elections. But the solution for us has always been what it's always been. We need to, get together here and work together and create our own solutions at the end of the day. The President of the United States has a lot of power, but really doesn't affect our lives in a daily basis or really on a local level at all. Certainly not as much as our local elected officials. So while I haven't voted since I wrote my book, and I don't plan to vote till I'm in a state that I believe can become a black majority state, I think that that's the way that we should really be thinking for those of us who can do it, because that's the only way we're actually going to lift anything and make anything happen. Is we've got to be the majority voters. We've got to elect people that are from our lineage, that care about our people, regardless of what the party affiliation is, because at the end of the day, that will become irrelevant at some point, as long as we are focusing on our needs and the things that we can get out of the system and move the resources around to benefit our people. So I just wanted to come up on that because, Malcolm X, somebody I look up to. I appreciate everything he was able to do. A lot of people don't really know what the plans were in place towards the later stages of his life. And part of it is the reason why they, took him off this planet is because of the way he was moving. It was totally different than when he was with the nation, and they saw the power in that. So I'll just land on that.
Thank you, Black. Appreciate you coming up tonight speaking. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Deedra. Deedra, how you doing tonight? Are you there, Deedra?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't even know where to start. But thank you for having me on. I do appreciate that.
No problem.
I've been doing a lot of listening here. And this is my thing. As an African-American woman here in the United States, I want to say that we really must vote. This Project 2025 scares me. And these folks, white folks, are planning to really take over the presidency and make it an imperial presidency, which means that Trump will have control of everything. And when I say everything, I mean the judicial everything. And the Supreme Court is already slanted towards the conservatives. He's in for another 4 years. The liberal judges are getting older. That means that he'll get more picks on the Supreme Court. Once it's completely conservative, it's over. Okay? There won't be any going back. Once they take over, that's what they really want. Once they take over, the platinum and all this other stuff, and Trump making all these promises, no, that's not going to happen. They want a white nation, and they're going to try to fix it just like that. So I see it for what it is. And this is what's happening. So if Trump gets back in, they are already laying the groundwork to take over. So no matter what any African American or black person or minority wants, they're going to turn this into what they want it to be, which is going to be a white nation. Black people will become second-class citizens. So will women.
All righty. Okay.
I mean, this is how I see it. Okay. Now, I don't really care for Biden. Okay. I don't really care for Trump, but that's not the fight in front of us right now. The fight is to keep Trump out, because once he gets back in, we will no longer be able to tell our children, hey, you can grow up and be anything you want to be, because that's over. They're going to make sure that black kids cannot grow up to be anything they want to be. It will be before the Civil Rights Act. They will take us back there. So we have to fight this fight as it's given to us. Okay, we have to fight with the hand that we are dealt. What we have right now is Trump that will destroy America and make it Trump's America, basically. In other words, Trump will not leave office this time. And when he does die, one of his kids will take over. It will be a different America. That's how dangerous. Do you not agree?
I don't agree because I'm gonna put it this way right here, Deedra. Nobody's gonna treat me like they did in the 60s. I'm just being real about it.
I agree with you. You don't want anybody to do that. But I'm telling you what their game plan is. Now, if Trump gets in and he says one of the first things he's going to do is let out all those people who ransacked the Capitol. Okay, those are the Proud Boys, the 3%ers, and all these other militia groups. He's going to put them on the streets. He's already laid down what he plans on doing. He plans on putting the National Guard on the streets, okay, to make sure that black folks don't get out of line, that we're not out protesting. He wants to run this place like Russia and like Orban runs his country, Hungary. That's what they want to do. Okay, so they're starting with the migrants now. They will work their way on down. So let's go with the migrants. When they go for the trans people, the LGBTQ people, we're on that list. Trust me on that. Okay, Trump doesn't like black folks. He never did. They used to write little C's on their applications when people would come in to fill out an application to rent an apartment.
But Deedra, Biden doesn't like black folks either.
Like I said before, I have to play the hand that's dealt to me.
Oh no, we can't go that lesson bit too. He was killed. No.
Yeah, that's dead.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
He's the last election because.
Okay, that it must have been a double mute, but go ahead and let her finish, guys, so we can go ahead and we'll let people go ahead and respond to what she's saying. Go ahead. I guess it's a double mute. Go ahead, Deedra.
Okay, I said that if Trump gets back in, they're setting it up where there won't be any more elections. Okay, that's it. That's final. And he will have the pick of the next Supreme Court judges, which will make it completely all conservative, and they all think one way. So that's what I'm saying. If Trump gets back in, it's going to be all conservative judges for a lifetime. There won't be anything that we can do about it. They're there for a lifetime. So I'm thinking about the big picture. If Trump gets back in and he gets picks of more conservative judges, they're going to be stripping rights away. And not just from whoever is on this line right now. I'm talking about my children and grandchildren too. Okay, they're growing up with less rights than I had, unfortunately, and they're stripping them away a little bit at a time. So what I'm saying is that if Trump gets back in, the Supreme Court will be completely conservative for the next 50 years. So we won't be able to complain about anything at that point. So I see the whole big picture. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's not just the president, it's everything else that falls underneath that Republican or Democrat president.
Okay.
So there's a big difference between, there is a difference between the two. If Trump gets back in, more conservative judges, a conservative Supreme Court, and we're going to be ass out. Voting Rights Act, gone. Civil rights, gone.
Okay. All right, everybody calm down and relax, okay? Deedra, okay, all right, everybody, chill out. We're going to let you, Deedra, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move it around the room now, and because I'm sure, mute your mic, and I'm sure there's a number of people that want to.
I just want to say thank you, though, for letting me speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and because I kind of lost order. Who I believe Rella was next. Was Rella Black Pressure Professor?
No, it wasn't Rilla. It was Ray Smith right there. Yeah,
Let my brother Ray go and let Rilla go.
Now, y'all can jump in when he skipped over Black, but y'all jump in and skip over me. I'm not saying I'm not going to let Ray go. I'm just point that out.
Right.
I'm going to cry.
Well, I know Ray did. He hadn't spoke, so we can. Ray, go ahead and speak.
I'm just messing with Newstoter. You know I don't care.
Go ahead, Ray.
What's going on, y'all? So I'm gonna be real quick. I think we all, kind of have the same train of thought on this. I'm sorry, this whole boogeyman, Trump is the bad guy thing. I'm sorry, we just keep all for that. It seems like every 4 years it's the same thing. We never get anything, and it's always, it could have been worse. You just voted for the Republicans. Well, they really gonna get you. Black people already have the right to vote, so those that stuff he's trying to pass, it seems like I'm not worried about that. I'll speak for myself. It just seems like a lot of black people have undying loyalty to the Democrats. It does not matter what they do or what they say. They always say it could have been worse under the Republicans. And I'm only 37. I've heard that all my life. But I have a question to pose to the room. Did Trump have any policy that he implemented that is as bad as the crime bills that Joe Biden put on us?
Hell no.
Okay, I think I got my answer on that then, because I keep hearing about all this bad stuff he's going to do, but Joe Biden was actually working with actual segregations. It's very well documented, that 94 crime bill and how it disproportionately racial jungle. I can go on and on. I think we all know the talking points that he said over the years, all this anti-black racism. But I'm gonna land it there. I'm not gonna be long-winded.
All right, appreciate that, Ray. I think I gave you a shout out. If I didn't give you a shout out, thank you for the contribution tonight. Everybody, let's remember too. Everybody, let's remember too. While one person is speaking, let's let that person speak so we can hear them clearly as well too. So let that one person speak, and then we'll go ahead and we'll move it around. If you up here in the speaker section as well too, because I know I'm not sure if we got any space to bring anybody else up here. If anybody wants to drop down that's not speaking at this moment, go ahead and drop down. If you're up here and you're not going to speak, go ahead and drop down so we can go ahead and bring up another speaker. So as well too, I know we got Kari, I see you up here. You're not speaking right now. So somebody needs to drop down, or I'll drop them down myself as well too. Trouble, I know you. I'm not sure if Trouble's still up here, but I know I see she's up here, but I know she's going to speak. But if you're not going to speak at this moment, go ahead and drop yourself down. Else we'll go ahead and we'll drop you down, because we want to go ahead and get another speaker. So up here, we'll go ahead and get the speakers up here. We ain't gonna go too much longer, but let's go ahead and see if we can allow somebody else up here who may want to speak as well too, guys. Let me go ahead and get to go ahead, Rella, unmute your mic.
Are you sure somebody else that didn't get to go didn't want to go?
If they want to speak, they can put their hands up. So go ahead, Rella.
Got you. So I shout out to Ray in his submission, because that lesser to evil conversation is just not the business in 2024. We know that a lot of the generations right after the civil rights movement kind of went dormant. A lot of people were tired, felt like maybe we have arrived, or we're not going to get enough, and was hoping and praying that, from Lyndon B. Johnson to Carter to Roosevelt to all those presidents that were in office, that somehow that they were going to, even Reagan, that there was going to be some hope to let's just get by. And the ball of moving the conversation of gaining political power and political representation fell on deaf ears. And I do believe that there is a place for people, no disrespect, like Deedra, who need time to get to a point where they get out of that fear of, oh, well, he's going to, next thing you know, turn the country over to, listen, they both have the opportunity to turn the country over either to Israel or Trump turn the country over to Putin. If you are in the mindset and believing that somehow we choosing one over the other, that they're not going to harm us because you don't feel like one harm is worse than the other. I remember the Central Park 5. I also remember the discrimination that came about in the historical records of Trump not wanting to rent to Black people. But I also remember not just the crime bill. Biden's been in government. He's been in government practices for over 27 years. And there's public record of not just him and Strom Thurmond and Robert Byrd, they were all their mentors. Margaret Sanger was mentor of Hillary Clinton, and then Clinton's got into office, and we still didn't get no representation. We got a man that played saxophone and smoked weed, and yet still in that present time, Black people thought just because during Clinton's reign that he gave our parents, a break from having to pay high taxes or having to see their money coming out of their pocket in front of them, that he was stealing behind them. And he wasn't the only one. And again, we keep thinking that the president is the one that is going to do all the harm. Actually, it is the congressman from each state and city representative that actually gets into office that makes up Congress. The House and the Senate, they get together and they write bills and pass them. And then it goes to the president's desk. If you have that representation, then guess what? The harm before it gets to the president is already done. We are too busy trying to whine and cry about what Trump is possibly going to do. Nobody's even looking at the people that's running or time might be up or spots need to be replaced in these particular states that have majority populations that have been voting for our genocide. But you crying about just Trump. You're not crying about the people who actually were in Biden's pockets lobbying him from day one. He just got on Beyonce's internet and started talking about how rioting and vandalism and all these other things is a federal crime. And no one actually said anything about the Jewish community that just had them tunnels and all that stuff that they was doing up in New York and all the rioting and crime that they just committed. No one talked about the harms of participation in slavery. And those white people have gotten away with it. Neither one party who had an equal opportunity and control of the United States, they both had equal opportunity to pass reparative justice in policy by executive order. We were not on their list because we didn't have representation. So trying to fearmonger this generation into believing that we have to choose one of our executioners over the other, that's not going to work. And we've had it up to here. And we're tired of people trying to use that trope to scare us into believing that our vote somehow is going to go to the wayside if we don't have a strategic plan. So this generation, and I believe the people who are waking up to the notion of we actually have more power than we know, and we know that we need representation, we are creating a strategic plan to tackle that. Not the fear mongering to make people believe that if you vote one way or the other, one of them will save you. Because one is already actually talking about selling us up the river to a bunch of people who ain't even from a land that they done stole and took over a bunch of other people who could give a F about us in the beginning until they started getting genocided out. So, again, I do believe the proper conversation is what are the actionable steps that we need to take and what are our demands in making sure that take Reeves, who embezzled $90 million with a football player, don't happen again. And he wasn't the only politician in Mississippi. Oh, the white town that just tried to siphon $50 million out of Baton Rouge, my mother's birth and hometown. How are we going to handle that? Because there's somebody in office, a bunch of somebodies, who literally are punishing the black people in Baton Rouge because they didn't like the fact that they actually had to choose another Supreme Court justice in Baton Rouge in Louisiana. So we really need to get our ish together if you really want to have this political strategy conversation. And it's not from a position of fear. It really is not. That's not the approach to take. And I'll land it right there.
Facts on that, Sister Rella. Shout out to you. Let's go black to black majority, and we'll swing it back to you, that Negro. And then pressure after that. So I know he the villain. Shout out to Texas.
Okay, man. So, like I said in my earlier submission, I wasn't planning on voting, but man, I must be insulated from the "we gonna have y'all back in chains" people, because now I'm inspired to vote. I'm inspired to vote for Trump if he's gonna be that horrible and that evil. Hearing people who talk like that, who actually sound a little crazy to me, to be perfectly honest. 50 years. I was born under a Republican president, Gerald Ford, and there's been 5 Republican administrations since that time. And I'm not in chains. I've got a pretty decent life. As far as I can tell, everything in America, as much as people want to say America's on a decline, I don't see it. Everywhere I look, it's just building and building and building, and construction and construction and construction. So for me, when I hear people who sound like they probably are about to jump out of a window, I'm just like, I got to do the opposite of whatever that is. Because if we need something that is so dramatic, a catalyst that is so overwhelming, that's going to force us to migrate. And if the Nazi czar that Trump is, according to this latest submission, maybe that's what we need. Maybe that's what Black America really needs, because if we keep being dulled to sleep by the Democrat Party and this feeling of comfort, then we're going to forever stay in this position, and it's only going to get worse. So for me, I'll take the worst of the worst, so I know what is possible when we are faced with the worst of the worst. Because usually, when your back's against the wall and you're faced with the most unlikely odds of success, and you're faced with doom, Black Americans tend to rise up and rise to the occasion. So I'll take that every day of the week. Thank you for that submission, because it has inspired me now to go out and vote for Donald Trump.
Wow, change your heart, huh? You know what I'm saying? But let's get on the TV show. You want to be on the TV show too, relatives? Show, okay. They want to be on Change Your Heart. You know what I'm saying? All right, no doubt. You know what I mean? So hey, go ahead, that Negro.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. What's up?
Oh, shit. Shoot. Yeah. My bad, but oh my God. Black majority be, man, that brother be spitting the facts, man, without a doubt. When I heard all of that boogeyman stuff, I had to raise my hand, and no disrespect to the sister at all, but I wanted to come up here and say one very relevant and factual fact to immediately shut down one thing that I heard. She said that I was like, if Trump gets back in there, it's going to be white, and we're going to be fighting. Okay, Europeans, their birth rates are falling, so there is no way. I'm not saying there's not other people that can literally get in there and plan and continue to uplift our demise. But what I am saying is, it's not going to be the Europeans that have been here, because they're dying. Literally, they can't reproduce. So that's a fact I want everyone to know. Not to say there's not going to be an asshole in charge if we don't take our rightful position, or a jerk in charge. What I am saying is that it's not going to be the Europeans that started this shit because they're dying. And I'll yield right there. Sorry for the cuss word.
All good, dog. We gonna start hitting y'all up with the cash out to start charging y'all for our cuss words over here now. Nah, just joking. Shout out to you on that one. Yeah, because I don't see Trump as a boogeyman. It's just another man. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and kick it around the room. Go ahead, Black Pressure.
Well, he is the orange man, so yeah, he's the orange man.
Yeah. Orange gang.
So, okay. So I feel like everybody in my age group, they'll get this joke. If you don't get it, you're not in my age group. I feel like Michael J. Fox, when he woke up in the alternate Hillsdale that he was born in, and Back to the Future too. Like I say, some of y'all won't get that. So I get that, like what the sister was saying, because she sounds like my mother and grandmother. My mother's still living, thank God my grandmother's passed away. What Trump will do, and if Trump gets in office, this is what's going to happen. Newsflash. The United States of America started with the transatlantic slave trade. Donald Trump can't do anything worse than that to black people. Then, after the transatlantic slave trade, there was a second genocide with the American lynching of black people that lasted for 100 years. Then you went with in the early 1930s, when redlining was used to corral black people into subsidized housing, which we call the projects. So, I could keep going on and on. Abraham Lincoln was a fire-breathing racist. Lyndon B. Johnson was a fire-breathing racist. Franklin Roosevelt was a fire-breathing racist. Truman. All these people actually did things for black people. I think Truman integrated the military. We know about the Emancipation Proclamation, the Civil Rights Act. All these white guys did, air quotes, things for black people. But when we talk about you coming to the more modern day, and all of y'all took all my talking points, but I'll bring it up anyway. Like DJ said, or I think Ray said, what's worse than the 86 and the 94 crime bill? And a little known fact, Ronald Reagan, once again, another fire-breathing racist. When Biden wrote the 100-to-1 crack law discrepancy, the fire-breathing racist that Ronald Reagan was like, nah, man, that's too harsh. Make it 20-to-1. And Biden said, no, we're going to make it 100-to-1. So, like I said, I'll let if Trump gets in, Trump had nothing to do with the condition of black people in America for the last 400 years. And you talk about Biden, who's been a politician for 50 damn years, and Donald Trump, who's been a politician for 4. Are you serious with me? That's no comparison. That's no comparison when you compare the harm that's been done to black people by literal 150 years of politics. And Ray took one of my points, so I'm gonna make it anyway. I'm gonna pose a question like he did. And this is to anybody in the room, all the black family in the room. Do you think white supremacy will ever give up their power seat in America to a black person? Like I say, and I don't think, like, I know people bash me because I don't vote, and I take it. I can take it. I can get it why you think we shouldn't vote. We shouldn't vote. I mean, we should vote. I don't vote. But, and this is to my brother. I'm going to disagree with my brother, Black Majority. Black people vote in local elections and local municipalities and local government. Black people vote. We participate in state voting and we participate in federal voting. We vote till we blow in the face. Our condition has never changed. The common denominator, you can vote all you want, we're still at the bottom. But like when we wanted change in the civil rights era, when we wanted to go to the same schools as white people, we had to fight and die. We wanted to drink out the same water fountain, we had to fight and die. We wanted to go to college like white people, we had to fight and die. We wanted to live in their neighborhoods, we had to fight and die for it. When we wanted to vote, you had to fight and die. You think you're going to get reparations by voting? That's not going to happen. Anything we want. I'll quote Malcolm X, and I'll even quote, to a lesser degree, Tupac. Anything that black people want, we have to fight and we have to take it. So that's my standpoint for not voting, and I'll mute up and listen.
All right. I'm back. I know I missed a good conversation that was going on. Sorry about that. So I'm not exactly sure. Let me give a shout out to that.
Let Deedra respond when you get the chance, because I know she want to respond to everybody that said something after that law. What's up, sister?
All right. Well, let me go ahead and give a shout out to that Negro for creating a account on Newstoter, as well as a contribution on Cash App. Shout out to you, that Negro. Let me give a shout out to you. You said Deedra was up, so Deedra, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I think online hadn't spoken yet, y'all. Let's let her go first. I know Deedra wants to respond to everyone.
Well, hold on. If Aunt Lai didn't speak yet, let Aunt Lai speak real quick, and then we'll get to Deedra. And then we'll come right back to you, Deedra. Aunt Lai, you there? Hey, Aunt Lai, are you there? Aunt Lai.
I don't think Boost Mobile work after 9.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and go ahead, Deedra, then we'll get back to Aunt Lai.
Yeah, go ahead, Nikki Barnes. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, who was the last one that was speaking right before you came back on?
Pressure change.
Okay, I do appreciate what you were saying. Very nice. Now, I am somebody's mother and grandmother, so I am a little bit older. And I was born back there when there were separate water fountains and riding in the back of the train. So I don't mean to fearmonger, so to speak. It's just that I have read the Project 2025. Now, somebody mentioned something about the white race is pretty much dying out. They're not reproducing. The only thing I want to say about that is that's the reason why they have passed all these abortion laws. It's not for the black race. It's to help replenish the white race. They want to say it's about the children, but they always have something up their sleeve. Anyway, I don't want to fearmonger at all. I see things for what they are, and you guys vote however you want to vote. I'm just looking forward to preserving whatever I can preserve for my children and grandchildren and so forth on, because I've already fought for all these civil rights that I cherish, voting and even the abortion, being able to control my own body. I fought for all these rights, and I'm watching them slowly but surely be chipped away. So for the young man who said that he's definitely going to vote for Trump now probably because of me, that's fine. It's just that I see things for what they are, and I see people for what they are. And Trump has already basically told me what he's planning on doing. So,
let me tell you,
hey, hold on, Professor. Professor, hold on. Hey, real quick, everybody, hold on. Let her, because especially if you're talking, because Deedra, her phone. I
was going to mute myself and excuse myself before you did that. So I was just speaking my piece and everything. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and everybody else can do what they want to do. It's just that we're all African American. We're all coming from the same place.
Okay. We got too many talk people. Okay, hold on real quick, everybody.
We all want the same.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, because especially when Deedra's. Hey, keep the mic muted real quick. Okay, let me say this, especially when Deedra's talking. If somebody talks, hey, hold on. I'm muting the mic. I'm muting. Hold on, because we got too many people coming off of the microphone speaking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm trying to mute the mic. Okay, let me mute the mic and then we'll unmute it. We got too many people talking, especially Deedra's phone. When somebody speaks and she speaks, it's all blurred and stuff like that. Professor, let her speak. When she's through speaking, then somebody can say something. But we got too many people coming off the microphone, and then you're getting that feedback as well too. So let Deedra speak. Deedra, go ahead. We'll let you go ahead and conclude your thought, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next speaker. You should be able to speak now.
Okay, thank you. All I'm saying is that we're all African Americans here, and we're all wanting the same thing at the end. So I'm not trying to fearmonger or do anything like that. All I'm saying is that I see things for what they are. I do a lot of reading. I've been around for a while, and I want the outcome to be good for all of us. So I'm not here to fearmonger or to upset anybody or to argue with anybody or anything like that. I just want to kind of just get my 2 cents in, because I've been around for a while and I kind of know people. That's my thing. So, I do apologize if somebody got upset or I stepped on somebody's toes or they didn't like something I said. But I thought that we all supposed to kind of come together and give our opinions and get feedback. So I will conclude on that, okay? And thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, I wasn't in the space at the time. Mute your mic real quick, Deedra, because that feedback. I wasn't in the space at the time, so I don't know exactly what the conversation led to. I will say this right here, though, Deedra. When I was in there, you were saying some of the stuff if Trump became president and how it was going to be basically black people were going to be almost. I know you didn't say this, I'm paraphrasing, but almost like you're going to be in some kind of concentration camps and this and that. And, it was a doomsday type scenario that you was giving out. Here's my thing, that whether you like Trump or you hate Trump or whatever, Trump was president before, and all of the stuff that you was talking about, that didn't take place. Like I said, I don't, as a person who's lived to see all these different presidents, I don't really see much difference, except they have a few different political ideologies. My life has been no different from the time that I can remember, whether it was the Bushes, it was Clinton, it was Obama, it was Biden, it's Trump or whatever. So to say that, that if he became president again, that they were going to do this and they were going to do that and this and that, it's not going to be different now, because one, nobody's going to do black people like that. This is not the 40s and 50s. Nobody's going to come and do us all like that. And we just sit here and take it, sitting up, walking on the street and saying we shall overcome. Those days are over with. You're not just going to have that and this and that or whatever. So, and like I said, you can't also, you talk about how detrimental, Donald Trump is politically, but at the same time, you just, you ignore Joe Biden's history, and people mention the crime bill and they mention this and that or whatever and stuff like that. And I think that's an issue that a lot of black people have. Joe Biden says all kind of stuff that's offensive, just like Trump says stuff that's offensive. And he's for the longest, his it just really I don't know. It's just he's been given a green light or whatever. So like I said, I don't really understand it. Like I say, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. In the last election, I didn't vote for either one of them. I voted, but I didn't vote for either one because I truthfully don't like either one of them. I don't. That's just me personally. People can vote however they want to vote or whatever, but that's That's just how it is, you know. I mean, like I said, if you want to vote for Biden, fine. If the people in here want to vote for Trump, fine. I'm sure you got some other people here that's going to vote for Biden. You know, people are going to vote how they want to vote. I just don't see. I think a lot of people are kind of fed up for the certain point that that they've been voting for the Democrats since the '60s, and the black people see, you know, that nothing has really changed and it has gotten better from under, you know, Democratic rule. A lot of people feel like, hey, you know, people say, well, what the Republicans doing for you? But black people say, hey, you know what? I'm not voting Republican. I'm voting Democrat. So I don't expect the Republicans to do anything for me. 90% of our vote is going to the actual Republicans. I see Craig and them says your spaces are becoming more and more disrespectful, especially for many of your regular speakers. Okay, Craig and them, like I said, I wasn't in here. I don't know exactly what's disrespectful or whatnot or whatever. I don't know what you found disrespectful tonight. And I try to tell the speakers in here too to also let people speak and let people finish up and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly what you found disrespectful. I was gone for a minute or whatever. So whatever you found disrespectful, please go ahead and list what was disrespectful. A lot of times with people political, and that's in this space as well too. A lot of times with people political ideologies don't line up with what they want, people get upset. That's whether you're pro conservative or liberal or whatever. So a lot of times that's why I tell people, let people speak. You know, this is not an echo chamber. Let people say what they want to say, and then you come and you can respectfully, you know, combat that actual you know, that opinion that they have or whatever. But a lot of times people get in their feelings one way or another. That's why I tell people to let people speak and this and that or whatever. So Craig and them, I don't know exactly how often you actually even listen to the spaces or whatever as well too, but it is what it is. Let me go ahead and get to I don't even know who was next to be. Aunt Lai, are you there? Is Aunt Lai in the space?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sound like you kind of in the matrix, but go ahead and speak on live.
I'm sorry. What I was saying, shout out to the room, making short and sweet, and y'all know that's hard for me. What I want to say in defense of Deedra James, and we might be related. My family last name is James. What she was saying is absolutely 100% correct. And I feel like the people who were saying it's fear-mongering was just jumping to conclusions, because basically what she said is what Trump said he was going to do. So she only said what he said he was going to do. And when people say they don't remember Trump being that bad, how many millions of people was just unalive because we had a pandemic? We ain't had a pandemic in 100 years. Like, how we forget that? Like, he is planning to do, he undid 50 years. He undid Roe versus Wade. He undid affirmative action. And the things that he has done, and mind you, he is not even presidential, and it's not even him. It's the people who are behind him, the Republican Party, who want these so-called things to take place. He has lined the court so that he is, right now he's attempting to get away with his criminal crimes. So let's not act like he is not a detriment, and he does not plan on taking over and doing, and he just said he's going to have the police unallow black folks and do all this other stuff, and he means every word of it. And again, he showed us exactly who he is when he was in office. All this talk about what he's planning on doing for black people, he's going to do the same thing for black people that he did when he was in office. Get a photo picture of black folks, and then that's it. That's exactly what he's going to do. So this rhetoric is not a detriment and a danger. And he in the court, even the way the court was stacked, name in the history of one president gets 3 nominees. Like, they are literally setting it up so that he can be the dictator in chief. Now, you can say you don't care about that, and that's different because, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Black folks, we don't what you say, well, we gonna be all right. But to not know that this man is planning on doing these things, all she said was what he plans on doing, and basically what he's already done. And I'm not saying that the other dude who people think is an alien or whatever ain't do bad stuff, because again, it's like a lesser two evils. I ain't fighting for, I'm not caping for no white man like Black Pressure said he don't trust him. He said what he said. I stand on his 10 toes. He didn't say not one lie. They're not to be trusted. They've never done anything to put in to be trusted, especially from us. But the fact that he says things and he don't even care about himself. So we just gotta keep in mind the person that we're talking about when he talk about these things, or when she was saying what he's going to do, basically what he said he was going to do. And I believe every word when he say what he going to do. And I know when he say stuff that he just say stuff because he wants the attention. That doesn't mean he's going to do it. When he talks about, I'm going to do this for the blacks, for my blacks, like he's like some slave master, he don't care about the blacks. He don't care nothing about, he has never done anything for the blacks in his entire life. So I don't think that he's going to do anything as far as the reparations talk or anything. He don't care about the migrants, immigrants, whatever you want to call them. The Republicans are actually making sure that they're being shipped to sanctuary cities so they don't even get shipped out. So we just got to start looking at this. This is bigger than Negro Brown, and get our feelings and emotions out of it and literally start seeing what they're doing. As far as, especially what they're doing with the court, because they're undermining. Right now, the Black Women's Fund is about to be overturned, where Black women can't even have a fund put specifically for Black women. That is in the process of being, especially after what just happened in this other lawsuit, is in the process of saying that Black people can't even get a fund. So if there's a legal defense fund or anything specifically for Black people, that is in the process of being overturned. And they're doing these things, everything, and they're planning this since the 70s. Since they got mad that Nixon was kicked out. This is their get back. They planned for 50 years. So we just have to take in mind, we know who these people are. They're not doing nothing new under the sun. And when she said this is what he's planning on doing, I don't take that as fear mongering. It's literally what he said he planned on doing.
Can you prove all the stuff that she said? Did you hear all of the stuff that she said he was going to do? Can you prove that for 100%?
She said that with the court.
No, I'm saying she said a lot of stuff. I'm saying she said a whole lot. You'd have to go ahead and replay. Can you prove all of what she said he's going to do?
He was going to be the president forever.
No, he said he wanted to be the. I'm just telling you.
Nobody's going to be. And people said the same thing with Obama, that he was going to be the president forever and this and that. What happened? I thought Obama was supposed to be president for life as well.
Obama didn't say that. This is the thing. Trump said he wanted to be the president.
So, Aunt Lai, do you think Trump is going to be president forever? I don't care what he said. Do you think he's going to be president forever?
This is
no, I'm not saying what he said. I'm saying, do you think he's going to be president forever?
I believe he is putting things in places to ensure that he is president forever.
Okay, so I mean, so anything anybody says and refute it don't make any difference, because you already feel that he's going to be, no matter what we have constitutionally set up, you believe that he's setting himself up basically to be a dictator, a czar for life.
Okay, this man is charged with how many criminal offenses? Right now, he has a gag order in place. He's violating the gag order, and the only thing they are doing is giving him $1,000 fine. Do you honestly think the court care about holding this man accountable? This Constitution that me and you better follow, because if we don't follow it, they'll throw us under the jail. He is not being held to the same standards that we are being held to when it comes to this Constitution that's put in place to ensure that we all follow it. So, do I see that he's putting things in place to ensure that he's absolutely doing it? He already tried to do it with the people telling the people to literally do the January 6th and then saying, I am going to pardon those people because it's federal charge.
They knew to do that, you would have to commit treason against the United States of America. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, commit treason.
You have to use the American military against America for you to be president forever. The last time that happened, it was called a civil war.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I did not say that he is going to do those things. I'm saying that he is saying, and he has put things in place so that he can do those things.
No, he has not put anything in place where he can be the president for life, Aunt Lai. It's nothing that this man could do to make himself president for life.
I can tell you what he's done. Literally, if you look at the court,
with the cases against affirmative action. These cases are going. They literally have a case in front of the Supreme Court right now with this man saying he is immune from committing all crime. He's literally saying that right now. That he is immune as the president of the United States, whether he do something as a private citizen or president, he cannot be. This literally what? Are you kidding me?
So is he the only president? Is he the only? Do you believe he's the only president to ever commit crimes in this country?
They all commit crimes.
Okay, so and how many presidents have ever spent a day in jail in this country? No, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. How many presidents have committed crimes in this country and actually done jail time?
But that's not her point, Newstoter.
But that's my point, Rella. Hold on, Rella. Hold on. That's my point. All of these presidents got some kind of crimes or something in their background, a whole bunch of them. They ain't never served one day in jail. Hunter Biden, his son. He ain't president. How long has he been in jail?
Again, so when you talk about, it's the Constitution in place to ensure that he's never president forever, but we see people not.
Hold on, sister, real quick, so we don't have a TMI conversation because we're messing up the space. I believe you're just saying it wrongly. You're not saying that, to total impression, she's not saying that Trump is going to be the president forever. There's no one in a physical sense will be here forever, but he could lay the groundwork that his name will live forever.
If you become the president of the United States, your name is going to live forever. She's saying that she's saying that he's trying to lay the groundwork to become the president, be president for life. That's what she's saying. That is what she's saying.
In the legislative space, hey, it's just like the whole Willie Lynch ideology. These jokes gonna be enslaved for the next 500 years. That's all you got.
She is saying that this guy is laying a groundwork for a dictatorship. But here's the thing. They already let him get away with what he's doing right now with the current system. So there's no groundwork.
Hey, that's all allegedly. He in court right now for it.
And don't forget the Obama administration. Let's not forget the Obama administration with niggas. It was a literal shooting gallery of niggas. You had a black president and a black attorney general. Not one police chief was indicted. Not one crooked DA was indicted. And not one killer cop was indicted. So lecture me about that.
Y'all proving my point. Y'all are proving my point that there's two justice systems. So I don't understand why y'all don't understand what I'm saying.
Well, we know that, Lie.
Concentration camps with Obama. Why wouldn't we in concentration camps with Obama?
We're talking about state and federal. Where you have to stop mixing the two up. State issues and federal issues are separate. And when you have issues on the federal level where the president is part of the three branches, what she's saying, and I understand, and this is why I wanted to say something, is that she's saying, which Trump did do this during his reign of terror, whatever, he did say that he was going to dismantle the three branches because he wanted to do what Putin did in Russia. Look it up. He said
so I'm saying that the attorney general can indict whoever he wanted I think is don't lessen the president and the attorney general. Don't lessen their power to a homeless man with a sign on the corner. That man could indict anyone he wants to, and they did nothing. That's my point.
And you're not wrong about that. What I'm saying is, there's no argument in what we're having. It's the fact that we're not moving on past the fact that both of these parties literally are working in tandem. One will cover up the other one because the son will go across the world and commit crimes, come back and bring back whatever he brought back, and then there's a laptop, right? But then turn around, Benghazi was happening and all this other stuff was happening. The people went over there to North Korea, and next thing you know, they violated the Logan Act. Again, I'm trying to say to you, I'm not disagreeing with you, but we have to deal with state on state level and federal on federal level, and then we need to figure out how where do we look like in that picture, and how we're going to protect ourselves, because we have no representation. My point.
Okay, my point is this right here, and this is my point, because there was a comment made about black people were going to be shipped out of the country, and this is going to be shipped out of the country, and this and that or whatever. When you're sitting up here saying that black Americans are going to be shipped out the country, that does contain some fear mongering a reference. I mean, when have black Americans been just shipped out of the country like that? There is no historical evidence whatsoever that black Americans are going to be shipped out the country. Okay, if you can show me some facts like that, like I said, this man, I've never voted for Trump. I've never been a huge Trump fan. Trump was president before. Were black Americans shipped out? Then the response is like, well, things are so much different now. Yeah, things are so much different 4 years later. It's so much different. It's like 4 years is 40 years. So you're telling me in 4 years from now, this man's got the power where he's going to start throwing black people up out the country. Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe that's nonsense. I don't believe that's possible. I don't believe that they're going to be able to ship black people out of the country. And that was made. And Deedra said that there's a first time for everything. Well, there's a first time for everything, but I got to see it because I've never seen it before in my lifetime. And nobody in this space has ever seen it in their lifetime either. So we can talk about the federal, we can talk about the local, we can talk about the county, we can talk about all of this right here. There is no historical evidence that black people, if this man becomes president of the United States, that black people are going to get shipped out of this country.
Okay, I just want to say that I understand what you're saying in the literal sense, but you have to understand the way they're harvesting organs. The way black people are missing, like ain't nothing like.
Now we pushing the goalpost back. Now we pushing the goalpost. Now we pushing the goalpost. Now we went from talking about people are going to be shipped out to human harvesting have nothing to do with black people. She didn't say that, Aunt Lie. She didn't say that, black people are going to, because they're black people right now being human harvesting and everything else. She didn't say that. She said that if this man becomes president, that this great conspiracy is going to take place, that black people, American citizens, are going to be shipped out of the country.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not arguing that debate. I didn't hear her say that. I heard her say.
Well, that's why I mentioned. That's why I say that some of that was fear mongering right there. That's why I mentioned that point right there.
Okay, I agree. I digress. You were right. But what I'm saying is, when we act like we don't see these things happening right in front of us, and we'll say, "Oh, it's not going to be like it was back in the day." I just seen the police beat another unarmed black man, and they're unaliving us like it's a sport. And people saying, "Well, then they were sticking dogs on us back in the day, and they was hanging us back in the day." Now they're still doing the same thing. Nothing has changed. So when you say it's not going to be like it was in the '60s, baby, it's still in the '60s in 2024.
And online, that's what I'll say. You're right. You're right, online, and I say so. Why vote? We could go back to the 1700s. It hasn't changed. So why would I waste my effing time standing in line and voting for somebody?
Because you're not just voting. You're not just voting. You're going to run your own people. That means get on the ground and talk to your community and figure out how to get people you want to run against these devils. We're actually having the same conversation, but we got to go further. We got to run our own people the same way they do. That's what Mark Carter was talking about. Even with all of his submission and everything that he believes in things that he's experienced in his life as a grown man, he still talks about running your own people, and then you go and vote for that person and their policy and agenda to be implemented. That's
let's talk in pride. We'll talk in pride.
Hey,
I'm hearing you.
Hey, real quick. Hey, real quick. Let me go ahead and get to Ian. We're not going to keep this space going too much longer. I don't know if DJ's going to start the space up because I'm going to get ready to shut this thing down. I'm going to let Ian come up here and speak. and then we're gonna get ready to shut this thing down for the night.
Down there, he's been waiting for a minute in the queue.
Who was that?
New Negro talent. You've been waiting in the queue right there for a minute.
Well, can you bring him up? Because I don't know if we got enough. I don't know if we got any open slots.
I'll drop down.
Somebody got to drop down. The stage full up.
Hey, I drop down, dude.
So let Ian speak, and then y'all can. We can get ready to. We're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up for the night here. Go ahead, Ian.
Okay, what's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up now?
I think part of the issue when we're having these discussions, I think we take for granted that we as Black people are on the same page in the first place. Whether you're talking about Democrats versus Republicans, whether you're talking about male versus female, a lot of us are having very separate experiences, and we're coming from our own personal, a lot of times completely different experiences. Now you have the female up here talking about abortion. I really can't relate to being afraid that abortion is going to go out because a politician is going off. I really don't give a fuck, right? To be honest, as a Black man. So that becomes the issue when we're having this discussion. People not really putting their cards on the table from what vantage point that they're actually looking at this. And most people, again, they're coming from a personal lived experience. But it's funny that a lot of the people who are doing the fear mongering, they're the ones who have been living the best, right? They've been living the fucking good life. Particularly, when you want to make
language.
Oh, damn, my bad. I'm sorry, I forgot. So yeah, particularly when you're talking about male versus female, I'm really not interested in a female talking about whether me as a male I'm getting unalive, so I should vote for who I want to vote for. That for me, that sounds like it sounds very reminiscent of when Joe Biden says, "If you don't vote for me, you're not Black." I'm really not interested in a Black woman or anyone else who's not a Black man saying you need to vote for this person because you're getting killed, right? I was beat up unconscious by the police, supposedly over a broken taillight, right? I've been attacked on my campus by the police because the white lady said that I was the one that calling to speak to the little white girl. I've had countless experiences as a Black male, based on the stereotype that in a lot of ways, right, has been pushed by the Democratic Party along with the Black feminists, right? These same Black feminists, right, in most of these spaces are the ones fear-mongering, right? Because again, they want to get rid of abortion, and then they're trying to get Black men, to vote for them in their direction. They're not really voting for the survival of the race and the group, because as we know, if a Black woman is pro-abortion, in most cases, she's really not looking ahead at the survival of the race, right? She's really not. When a Black woman says, you're not Black if you don't vote for abortion, you're not really. I don't see that person as really forward thinking and looking at the survival of the race, to be honest. So they can fear monger and do whatever, but really, I'm really not paying them attention because I can't take them serious because they don't have the lived experience of suffering that I have as a Black male, right? And they don't have the level of marginalization that I get on the job, in the schools, so on and so forth. So I think if we're going to have this discussion, let's discuss, what our plan is. And unfortunately, most people who are fear-mongering, they don't have a plan for Black people, and they're not really looking for, Black people to rise in the future. They're just saying, okay, let's leave it at the status quo. But again, the status quo is, listen, I really don't give a damn about if Trump comes in and racism happens, because again, I'm catching hell all day, every day as a Black man, right? I've already got the PTSD in dealing with the police, dealing with my own brothers who are so frustrated under pressure, right? That they want to fight on a dime. I'm already there. There is no level of PTSD as or fear mongering that's going to change and be like, oh, you know what? Oh, there's something going to be worse. I've already lived it. I've already lived it as a black man. My father's lived it. My brothers lived it. It's already here. So again, the problem is is what we've been doing is for decades we've been running our politics around more of a feminist base, right? The women and children, take care of the women. That's fine, right? That's fine. But at the end of the day, that taking care of the women and children is commingled with taking care of immigrants and taking care of all other taking care of white women, right? Taking care of all these other groups. And so when you have that in place, where you're talking about living this good life, but at the same time having to share everything with all these other groups, you're really not looking at whether or not we're going to survive in the future. Because when the immigrants and everybody else comes in, either way, you're not gonna have a future. But most people who are fear mongering, they really don't care about the future. They really just interested in continuing, as the lady says, having the right to have an abortion and whatever the status quo. She's talking about the preferential treatment for black women, right? I mean, really, as a black man, I don't care that black women, they've been getting preferential treatment for decades. Do I really care that they're not going to get it this couple of years? Not really, right? Because it really hasn't panned out, right? And it's not just for me, but it hasn't panned out for the black collective.
Hey, Ian, let me get you to land your plane because we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. I'm gonna let talent speak, and then we getting ready to close this out.
Yeah, so I really want people, if they're gonna fear monger, tell me how what your goal and your agenda and your plan is for black people, and how the person in office is going to either help or hurt that. But I usually don't hear that in these conversations. I usually hear more of an emotional appeal. But again, you cannot appeal to the emotions of a man who's already been through the fire. I'll land there.
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead, Talent. I'm gonna let you go in real quick, and then we're gonna close this thing now. I forgot Secret Sister had a space tonight as well, too, y'all. So I don't know if DJ's gonna do one because I think Secret Sister may be having a space. So I'm sorry, Secret Sister. The conversation just kind of went on. I didn't mean to go this long, but Talent, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a few minutes, and then we're gonna get ready to close this thing out for the night.
Hey, peace and love. Shout out to the host, the co-host, and everybody in the space. I'm gonna keep it brief as possible, and want to say that the most racist thing that I think we've experienced in our generation is being locked into a non-reciprocal or unreciprocal relationship with the Democratic Party. In a moment, individuals are interested in seeing what we can gain from looking at the other side, being attacked for it. I think even Mark Carter could be an example of someone that I have not really seen any conservative or Trump people coming after Mark Carter for being interested with having a seat with the Republican Party. I've really seen many people on the Democratic side attack him for literally trying to respond against what he sees and believes is affecting his community. And I think that is dangerous. Another thing that I think is dangerous is how the concept of what racism means and is supposed to look like has been marketed in a way where we do not think that the Democratic Party is racist. We don't look at them as a party that has weaponized structural violence and racism on our community, because I don't know if people are looking at it from that way. But Donald Trump is supposed to represent what racism looks like, and that part is a little bit concerning to me, mainly because I'm looking at Democratic Party members working with the deep state and even some Republicans right now looking to pass more legislation to protect Israel and the Jewish community, right? And I'm just looking at what is happening and saying we can talk about white people all day. We can talk about white supremacy, white racism. We can make rooms. We can go outside. We can discuss all things in that space when it comes to white people. But the moment we want to criticize Jewish people who operate as white, then it becomes an issue and we are being silenced. And what I'm seeing right now is a bunch of sound bites of Trump's most recent speech going around. At the same time, there's two bills on the federal level that are being pushed to literally put a muzzle on us for speaking against media, who controls it, systems that are in power, the money that's going to Israel. And I think that that is very dangerous where we aren't looking at the macro that is happening, because for some reason we just think that racism is consolidated to the conservative or the Republican Party. So we should be looking with our heads on a swivel, seeing everything that's going on, because what's happening right now with the distraction of these college campus uprisings that are being bundled and viewed is literally creating this ability for them to start pushing the legislation for the protection of Jewish people, and we still have no protection at all, and they're utilizing this concept of white people are racist to get it through. I'm going to land there, though. Thank you.
All right. This conversation could go on for a long time tonight, but I have got to get ready to go, guys. So, DJ, you know if Secret Sister still got a space going on or not? Or
I don't know. I'll keep y'all posted. I have another space tonight. Go ahead.
all right. Well, that concludes the space for tonight, the broadcast, guys. We will see you next week. Peace, everybody. Be safe. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.